Welcome, everyone, to Friday Night Excitement for Ohsweken Speedway. Tonight from the virtual Williams Grove Speedway. My name's Greg Kilman. With me, Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross. And tonight, Adam, we'll start off with you. We're headed to a track that I was a little leery about. But after last week's racing, I think Williams Grove was the right choice for this Friday night.
I think so, too. I think going from USA to Williams Grove, there's probably more similarities than there are differences. And I don't want to say I enjoy single file racing, but I enjoy a track where cars aren't going to launch into the corners 3-4 wide. You're going to pick your spots. You're going to be meticulous with the way you make moves. I think tonight's show is going to flow a lot better than what we saw last Friday night.
Yeah, I felt the same way, Greg. I was a little bit leery about the long straightaways at USA Speedway, but what we saw last week made me jump right into Williams Grove this week. I think it's a fantastic track, obviously a historical place, but it's going to make for some great racing. And I think, like Adam said, they're not 3 and 4 deep barreling into the corners, and it makes for better racing, but speed's going to account for a lot tonight.
Now, heading into tonight, some changes in the way things will operate. There will be manual cautions and some length of races change tonight, Clint.
Yeah, we tried manual cautions in a couple of the races last week. And basically what that means is, we have a race director controlling the races as opposed to the computer artificial intelligence built into the iRacing platform. What that means is every time someone gets a bit out of shape or twisted the wrong way, we don't have to throw a yellow. Well, why would we want that? Well, it's very simple. Every time someone gets around, you're not throwing the yellow. So you can avoid that. When you have guys at the back who are struggling, just trying to get a handle on, and they have problems and there's single car incidents, we don't necessarily need to go yellow, pace around for a couple laps, get everybody a chance to get in and out of the pits. It will really speed up the show. We tried it in a couple races last week and it worked fantastic. And the guys doing the race control did a fantastic job. So we're super pumped about it. I think this week will go a bit better. The other reason we dropped a couple of laps from some of the events in a couple of the races, those last 5 laps, just like we did in the outdoor racing a couple of seasons ago. Doug and I did a study and realized there were no passes in those last couple of laps. So we reduced it to speed up the show. There was absolutely no passing in the last 5 laps of a couple of the races, so we shortened them up to 25ers this evening.
I think that's a wise choice, too. Sorry to cut you off, Greg. I wanted to bring up a question that's already been brought up on Facebook. Clint, we should probably cover that off quickly. Someone asking, when does racing start? When are we going to get back to real track racing? We know some tracks are opening for practice sessions. Ohsweken is not one of those.
Yeah, well, right now the community is still shut down because of the COVID situation. So there's still barricades up. Unless you're a resident of the Six Nations area, you can't get even into the neighborhood right now. So it makes it a little bit tough for us to hold practices because only the guys who live in the city would be able to get out there and do it. And we've really resisted that to keep things as fair as possible. So I think, we need 2 things to happen. Basically, we need the barricades to come down, which is a black and white deadline, let's say. The other one that's a little bit gray is when the community is going to welcome us to bring all of our fans back in and all our teams. And that's the other thing we've talked about at Ohsweken. Unlike some of the other tracks, for example, Brighton. Brighton's holding practices this weekend, but a majority of the people who race at Brighton live in that immediate area. Ohsweken's a bit different than that. I would say 80% of our teams come from an hour or more away, from various different communities, all joining in at Six Nations. So that's going to pose a bit of an issue for us. But just like anything else, Glenn's been a great neighbor to everybody and worked his way through all these situations. I think you're going to see the same type of thing. I had meetings with some of the former police folks out there yesterday to figure out how we could get through this and get us on track as quickly as possible. But the first thing is Six Nations needs to reopen for business because it doesn't matter what happens with the Speedway if nobody can get there. So we're hopeful that's going to happen in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Because we're not the only business that's really hungry to get back into business in Six Nations right now. Greg, the other thing we want to talk about is the new branding of MAV TV. Just this week came out, and it will now be known as Rev TV. It will be its own standalone channel, and our association looks like everything's going to continue on. It'll be in the same platform, so if you had MAV TV, it's just a rebrand to Rev TV Canada, and that will be our new platform for our live television across Canada for at least the 2020 season when we get rolling, and we'll see how that goes. We originally had a 3-year deal with Mav TV and Pinty's for All North Racing, and it looks like that's going to continue here on Rev TV. So that's good news for us. Interesting news for our friend Mike and his partner Peter over at Mav TV. And your thoughts on that first, Greg?
Well, I think like we talked off air, it's a much more marketable name, and they were sharing the name from the U.S. brand that is so popular down south of the border. But maybe here north of the border, fans might ask or viewers might ask, what's Mav TV? It doesn't make any sense. Now you've got that Rev TV. It really gives you a feeling of exactly what it is, and good on them. And it should be good for another couple of seasons at least, with Ohsweken Speedway being on there. And of course, the news that we mentioned last week that some of our races from last year being repackaged and put on there, not just the 7 that we had broadcast originally for Mav TV. So some exciting news, and anytime we have motor racing on television here in Canada, it's a good thing.
Adam?
Nobody can argue with that, Greg. More content, more for people to see. Definitely going to be exciting. Kind of a tough time to launch was racetracks not quite open yet, but I imagine when things do open up, there's going to be a huge demand for it. I'm excited about tonight's program, though. I want to see how our stars handle Williams Grove.
Well, they're in
Greg,
qualifying
this is the
right
first
now.
time Adam has been the shortest of all of us. So I don't know if you noticed that, but we're finally taller than Adam here tonight. You got to fix your camera there, bud. They're going into qualifying right now. As soon as single car qualifying is over, we'll get into it for qualifying heats. Adam, maybe let's take a moment to talk about some of the folks we lost here in the racing world this week. It's been a tough week abroad and here at home.
Yeah, it was a tough week. My dad passed away early Thursday morning, Clinton. It was sudden. Spent the day with him on Tuesday and shared some laughs and talked while he was getting some tests done. And Thursday morning he was gone. So a sad week there, but that's not the end of it. Marcia Wetmore, a longtime promoter, a very prominent woman in dirt racing, a promoter down in central New York. She passed away, I believe the same day, I believe yesterday as well. It might have been today, but she's been battling some illnesses for quite a long time. And there's even more closer to home.
Yeah, John Costello, we lost John Costello. He's a crewman for the McGlones most recently. Also spent some time in the Ohsweken Microsprint Club as a safety director. John was also our Santa Claus at our Christmas in July's for many years at the Big O, and just a huge supporter of our racing. Also had a big association with Oswego Speedway and the 2-seat car that they had there for many years. Also with the Dodaro family and their race team. So, condolences go to all of them. And, Adam, sorry to hear about your dad. My favorite memories of your mom and dad were when we were young announcers kicking off, and your mom and dad be the last two in the grandstand at the end of the night, ready there to talk to us, and always had some critiques. And I love that. It was never always sunshine and roses. Your mom would be telling me, turn the music down. Your dad would say, slow down. There were all kinds of great topics, and I think they had a big part of forming our early years. And your dad will be sorely missed. The other thing is, that smile he had definitely passed on to you, and we appreciate it. And like I said, you're one of the most solid guys I know. It's because of your dad. So, condolences to you guys,
and
Costello and the Wetmore family.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and we talked about a lot of things. We talked about moment of silence or fade into black as we go into commercial. If you want to honor my dad, smile at someone for no reason. Make someone laugh or laugh at someone's joke. That's what I remember about my dad. And moments of silence would be awkward around my old man. So by all means, keep up the noise, keep having fun. Just try to make someone happy.
Greg, I'm just going to jump in here quickly. Spencer, let's go to commercial break, and we'll come back with qualifying heats here from Williams Grove on Friday Night Excitement. Thank you for being with us. Stick around. We got a great night ahead.
Take a look inside any rotary combine, and you'll find single rotor technology. Technology Case IH introduced over 35 years ago with the axial flow combine. But unless it gives you more bells and whistles with fewer belts and chains, more power using less fuel, it's not an axial flow. Because while the heart of every rotary combine beats red, only Case IH gives you the power to do more. Take a look.
Back at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway for Friday night I-Xcitement for Ohsweken Speedway. Again, my name's Greg Kellman, with me Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey for what I believe is week number 7 of our iRacing experience. And we're filling the void that we would usually have on Friday nights out of the Big O. And tonight we are at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway. Next up is heat race number 1 for the Ohsweken Stars. This qualifying heat brought to you by Nitro 54 Variety. And Alan Downey will find himself on the pole. To his outside will be the 22 of Travis Miller. Going from the 3rd spot is the 96 of Steve Shaw Jr. And to his outside, that's where we'll find the 5 of DJ Christie. Back in the 5th spot, Jordan Hill in car number 13 and Cameron Kokrick. Alongside him in the 7, back in the 7th spot, car number 16 of Jason Thompson. And Joey Harrimans will go from the 8th position. Those are the drivers that make up the first qualifying heat, brought to you by Nitro 54 Variety. 8 laps of distance. Top 3 will transfer to tonight's A main.
And let's have a look in the distance, Greg. While there's still some calm, look at that beautiful tacky clay up in turn number 4. That is the trouble spot. The exit of turn 4. Getting through the corners at Williams Grove isn't impossible. It's not even all that hard. Getting off of turn 4 without spinning the tires, getting sideways and wrecking half of the cars around you, that is the challenge of Williams Grove.
The other challenge, and this is a surprise because it's got such long straightaways, it's very easy to get wrecked on the straightaways here at Williams Grove. Maybe not by yourself, but by others for some reason or another. This is a tricky track, and it's one of those tracks, again, like last week at USA International Speedway, there's walls all around you. So when trouble breaks out, it's probably going to be more than one car.
Did you ever get the opportunity to watch the World of Outlaws at Rolling Wheels Raceway in New York?
Yes.
Very similar there. You can't run the straightaway in a straight line because these cars run so much stagger, because the setup of the cars, you almost run the track shaped like a peanut, and it's treacherous. I'll never forget one of the first years Clinton and I did video. This was not the World of Outlaws. It was a 360 sprint car show. We got up on the backstretch flag stand out of turn number 2 at Rolling Wheels, and a wreck happened coming off the corner, and there were sprint car parts bouncing off of the flag stand, off the steel of the flag stand. I think I soiled myself that day.
Well, hopefully you virtually don't do that here tonight, but we are ready to go with the first qualifying heat of the night, 3 in total this evening, with Alan Downey lining up on the front row for this one. Now, coming into tonight, Stephen Goldner was the story last week, and for the first time it wasn't because he won everything. In fact, he finished dead last in the C main last week. He'll be looking for redemption. We'll see how he fares. He was up there in the top 5 in speed during practice.
Yeah, no doubt he's going to be fast. This is the kind of track that he will do very well, and he's very good at hitting precise marks, and that's going to help here at Williams Grove. Spencer, I think this would be a...
Yep.
Spencer, this is a good look. Let's go green from this in-car. You're going to get an idea of what the straightaways are like and how these drivers have to steer. In fact, Spencer, stay on this camera all the way to turn 3 on lap 1.
Just going to say, if you're following on Facebook, give us a share, give us a like. If you're on YouTube as well, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel, GeForceTV.net, the home of Friday night I-Xcitement. Heat race number 1 coming to the green flag, brought to you by Nitro 54 Variety.
Little wheel stand by these cars. You know, I've never asked Spencer if he minds when we give him requests and direction, but here they come out at 2. Watch the straightaway. Watch all the cars move. We've got a car to the inside of this one we're watching. Bit of a slide job off of turn 4. There's still some grip right now, but that's going to go away as the night goes on.
Travis Miller back in that 3rd spot, looking low on DJ Christie as they work off of corner number 2. Those are the top 3 cars right now. So Steve Shaw Jr. right there in that 4th spot trying to hold it off. He's 1 spot out of transfer position.
Really nice start for these drivers on a tricky racetrack. As the night progresses and as the track slicks off, you're really going to see what we mean. There's not a lot of middle ground here at the Grove. You go in right on the inside, or you run right around the guardrail on the outside. We got one around Steve Shaw, and he's going to collect some friends.
Yeah, I think Jordan Hill got into Steve Shaw. That looped him around. That was the fight for fourth. Leader catching this as the top three have broken away nicely now. Alan Downey, you see him there. He's the leader. It's side by side for second between DJ Christie and Travis Miller.
And those two were duking it out while Joey Harrimans was having his own battle in turn 4 with the wall. But Travis Miller trying his hardest to make a move to the inside, and it's very hard to get speed off the corner. So he'll be able to drive to the inside, but getting that drive off the corner is a real challenge.
Alan Downey with 3 laps left to go, leading the way. He's been stout since the drop of our first virtual green flag of 2020. He's got a lengthy distance right now over the battle for the second spot, and Travis Miller got sideways there in 4.
Christie got away with one. He made a mistake off of turn 2 by staying low on the racetrack, allowed Travis Miller to the outside, and then he executed a wicked slider going into the next corner. Travis Miller might be able to close that gap. We'll see if he has a score to settle with Christie.
White flag coming out in the first qualifying heat of the night. Again, top 3 transfer to the A-main. Downey, Christie, and Miller have broken away. It's a long ways back to Jason Thompson sitting in that 4th position.
Off of turn number 4, the final time, down towards the checkered flag. Miller closed the gap, but it's going to be Downey, Christie, Miller. The top 3, they will head on to the A-main, and then Jason Thompson. And I believe Cameron Thompson told me that he's driving Jordan Hill's car all night long.
So no surprise, Alan Downey picking up the win in heat race number 1 as the second heat locked and ready to go. 3 in total here tonight. Of course, we'll have the complete show of the Ohsweken Stars up first. Heats, Consi, and A-main, and then we'll go to the Big O Associates A-main, then to the Pinty's Pro-Am, which is the top 18 from the Stars versus the top 6 of the Associates, and then into our Middleport Mechanical Street Stock Challenge. That'll be an interesting one here as well tonight. So second qualifying heat lining up, and starting from the pole in this one will be Nick Sheridan in the 45, the crate sprint car champion from 1 year ago. To his outside, the 68, that'll be Aaron Turkey. Going from third, Ryan Beagle in the 84, and to his outside, 2-time sprint car champion at the Big O. That's the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen, in the 4th starting spot. Going from 5th, Ashton Dickie in car number 11. To his outside, Steve Shaw Sr. He'll go from the 6th spot in car number 96. And then it's Tyler Ward back there going from the 7th position in car number 29. Roger Craig, of course, hosting the server, so his name tacked on there to the end of this second qualifying heat, so he will not actually be competing in this one. Well, Adam, this week I learned a very... What's that?
Yeah, are you sure there's only 3 heats? I'd be shocked if we have less than 24 drivers.
3 heats showing up on my scroll list here.
Okay. Because last week we had 32 cars. I'd be surprised if we had much less, but you have the controls there. I didn't see how many cars took time.
Stephen Goldner, oh, yeah, he did stay in the server. He's starting 5th in the next heat, so he had a bit of a struggle in qualifying here, but I'm sure he'll be good once feature time rolls around. I was about to say I learned a very valuable lesson this week, Adam. I'm not good with the setups on this, and this week I was racing at Volusia in the scheduled series race for the Pro Late Model Division. And so I go to, I think it's called OSR or something like that, racing.net, and they have setups. So I learned a lesson. Don't trust another user's setups. Battling for the win on the last lap, I ran out of gas.
Oh, no.
That's why my car was so fast, apparently.
Yeah. How far were you able to coast?
No word of a lie, about a meter from the start-finish line. So I ended up being scored 1 lap down.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Wow.
And now I know why drivers get upset about the ones that get away, because that bothered me the rest of the afternoon.
You'll remember them forever.
Yep. Coming to the green
We're
flag,
looking to
Nitro
go-
54 variety. Heat race number 2, Nick Sheridan from the pole.
Take a look inside.
Turkey.
Down into turn number 3, Sheridan out in front, holding on to the lead, and then it's Hoopinen and Turkey battling for that second spot. Contact!
Well, they all make it out somehow as they work down the backstretch. The leader, Nick Sheridan, he was very strong last week at USA International Speedway. He's got a lengthy advantage right now over Jim Hoopinen and Aaron Turkey.
I'd have to think this is a young man's track, because anybody that's out of their teens, like in their 20s and 30s, realize how scary it is to drive around this place. You are so close to all sorts of things that would really, really hurt. And look, see the nose of the car constantly tweaking a little bit left and right? Those are constant steering corrections being made by our race leaders.
It's almost like you're on a boat watching the bow of the boat moving around, and here he comes. We'll watch him as he comes off of corner 4. It's no easy feat. Look how much the car is tilted over to the left. That stagger is exactly what you were talking about, Adam, that makes it so hard to keep it going straight.
The laps continue to click off here at the tricky Williams Grove, with Sheridan extending that lead. Trouble in that battle for 4th with Steve Shaw Sr. Ryan Beagle, I think, got a piece of that. Tyler Ward, did he get through it or did he get stuck?
Last I saw him, he was on his side, so there he is. There, he must have got back over.
They're starting to cross the line now, so we know Sheridan, Hoopinen, and Turkey are okay. Then Dickie got through. Ryan Beagle in the 5th spot. So yeah, Tyler Ward and Steve Shaw Sr. getting the short end of that stick.
Don't forget, as we've been mentioning, if you're watching on YouTube, of course, during this pandemic, they have been lowering the default setting on the screen resolution. So if you click on your settings there, you can change that to full res, and you'll see the high resolution version of the race tonight as we cross the stripe. The winner of heat race number 2, Nick Sheridan, over Jim Hoopinen and Aaron Turkey. Those 3 drivers will move to the A main tonight. So it'll be Ashton Dickie, Ryan Beagle, Tyler Ward, Steve Shaw, Shane Pierce. I think that's Steve Shaw going to the Consi event a little bit later on.
The track is widening out.
Third and final qualifying heat, brought to you by Nitro 54 Variety. Donnie Lampman finds himself on the pole. To the outside, the 777 at Chase Hess, going from the 3rd spot, the 87 of Sean Evans. And his line mate will be the 88 of Shane Pierce. Going from the 5th position, Stephen Goldner. If we had points in this season, he'd be the point leader with the dominance he had in the first 5 weeks of competition. Tyler Pacholski on his outside goes from 6th. And Nick Erskine will complete the field 7th in that 7th starting spot, and just ignore me back there in the 8th position.
I got a message just now from Noah. We're watching the races. He says, they don't look like they're social distancing. I said, no, it's virtual. He says, it looks quite real. They should, iRacing should come up with a schematic so they can social distance also.
Face masks on all the fans.
It'd be hard to stuff beef jerky in your mouth if you had to wear a face mask on Friday nights, Greg.
I'd be breaking that rule in the first 30 seconds.
I have no idea. No doubt, rather, you would find a way. I have faith.
Ice cream's easy. You can use a straw, but it's tough getting beef jerky down a straw.
There's so many jokes there, I don't even know where to begin, but I think I'll leave that lie. Oh, dear. Clint, help. I forgot what our safe word is already, Greg.
You guys don't get one.
Wasn't it Omaha?
No, that was Peyton Manning's.
You know, you guys
Well,
talked
you
about
wouldn't-
these cars, and straightaway speed is easy. Getting into the turns isn't even that hard. The hardest part about this, at least I've found, is getting off the turns. And watching Nick Sheridan in that last qualifying heat, it's amazing how smooth they can come off the turns when you watch these guys, because these cars are assy as all can be, and loose like you would not believe.
What I learned about racing this place in iRacing, you can't take the whole turn at once. Got to take it in small bits, put enough steering into it to start your arc around it, and just trust yourself. You have to throw that car really far into the turn because it's a long way around the top. This is still a fairly narrow racetrack. There's lots of bite out there. As the night goes on, you're going to see the outside work all the way up to the wall.
Third and final heat takes the green flag. Again, top three will go to the A main. Donnie Lampman and Chase Hess side by side for the top spot. Chase Hess has really impressed me. And to find out, I think it was last week he told us, he just got the entire system a couple of weeks ago. That's pretty good. And there goes Stephen Goldner involved in another one.
Yeah, that did not go his way. That took a bunch of cars out of contention there. So Goldner has dropped back. We'll have to see who got through. I see at least 3 cars up ahead that made it through that skirmish, so it'll be hard. Oh! Frustration has overtaken Goldner. You see Shane Pierce there on pit road as well. So right now, how about Nick Erskine? He has really been putting in the hours trying to learn iRacing. And if he holds a steady wheel here, he should get a transfer spot.
So we'll have another look here in the side-by-side windows. They came off of 4. Oh, Goldner got into the wall. And it looked as though maybe it was Shane Pierce that came up a bit at the exact same time.
I think the car on the inside got loose. The car on the outside was coming off the wall. Things happen fast.
Fighting over the same piece of real estate, I guess that's the saying. Chase Hess out in front, Donnie Lampman second, Nick Erskine right now running the third spot. Long way back to Tyler Pachulski, and there we see Sean Evans continuing on at a slower pace.
Well, that's like the B main, because 12 cars transfer. No matter how crippled you are, you'll stay on the racetrack in that B main, hoping to get a spot.
Steve Hess, make that Chase Hess rather, Steve's son. Crosses the line with 2 laps left to go as we ride on board with Donnie Lampman trying to track down the leader. Man, that car just making all sorts of movement back and forth.
It is so as they work down through 3 and 4. They'll get the white flag this time as Donnie Lampman trying to keep it off the wall. Now you're starting to see them. Oh, Donnie Lampman clips the inside. I think he might have done a 720 out of 360 there and kept on going.
Kept his spot as well. Still in second, checkers out. Chase Hess gets a win. Donnie Lampman second, Nick Erskine third. Those 3 will transfer to the A main tonight. So Tyler Pachulski, Sean Evans, Shane Pierce, Stephen Goldner will all go to tonight's last chance race. So we do have enough cars, it looks like, for C main tonight. So we will run the C main. 6 cars in total. 4 of them will transfer. And it'll be Tyler Ward going from the pole, Shane Pierce on his outside. Row number 2 will be Cameron Thompson in Jordan Hill's number 13. Steve Shaw Sr. will go from 4th. Stephen Goldner 5th. And Joey Harrimans goes from the 6th spot. So 4 of these 6 will move on to the B main. The other 2 will be virtually done.
Steve Goldner has to keep the car straight here. He's got to get to that B main, so he's got to focus first on not being involved in whatever's going to happen in front of him. It's not a big field of cars, but it's enough to have a skirmish.
This was the race 1 week ago that ended the streak for Stephen Goldner. Started in the C main and got tangled up on the front stretch early on in that race. And it brought an end to his evening. So it's as though once you challenged him in that Pinty's Pro-Am, Adam, you broke his rhythm because he hasn't done anything since.
I messaged him after that, too, to make sure. Yeah, I'll take it. to make sure he was okay with it. He says, yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that. But yeah, that's how momentum works. It cannot be explained. That's why baseball players will wear the same socks for 4 weeks, because they had a good night one night and they don't want to change anything. But there's got to be some mojo to that, Greg. It has to be real.
Well, he'll start from the 5th spot as we have, I think, one more pace lap to go here behind the Strickland GMC pace truck. And I wouldn't say there's anyone in this C main either that we could consider a long shot to transfer. All of them capable.
Oh, they are. These are some good cars.
You know, guys, we talk about trading paints and how these guys have their actual scheme on. We're going to figure out how to write some code to get trading paints for the pace truck, so we can actually get our pace truck out there.
That'd be a good idea for leagues.
How about have the pace truck all lettered up like iRacing this year, and then just post the fact that iRacing uses our pace truck?
That's a good one. You know, Rick Scott from Strickland is a big iRacing guy. He might go for it.
To the green flag we go. 4 to transfer here in the B main. Tight racing down the front stretch. Riding as well on board with Steven Goldner as he works his way from the back. He's up at the 4th spot coming off the corner.
Quickly work to the inside. We saw someone have a problem well at the back. Goldner scored. I believe that was Shane Pierce with a problem down the inside of 3 and 4. That almost fell disaster.
Tyler Ward out in front of her. Steven Goldner back in that 3rd spot is where we find Cameron Thompson. And Steve Shaw Sr., Shane Pierce on the outside looking in. Look at him wheel to wheel for the lead.
Oh, and Tyler Ward pinches off. Even Goldner down into the corner. You can see Goldner kind of trying to be cautious out there, but at the same time, you got to go for it. He wants nothing to do with these battles. He wants to get out front and drive away, but they're making it tough for him.
Top 4 have a good advantage right now over that 5th place car, Steve Shaw Sr. So if they knew that, I wonder if they backpedaled a little bit and maybe not try so hard, because racing like this can put you out quick and put a couple of those guys that are a lap down right back into a spot.
Yep, exactly. What a battle. Goldner finally gets out ahead of Tyler Ward. Ward's going to have some company here with Cameron Thompson. And don't look now, but Shane Pierce is closing the gap.
Yeah, he's done a nice job getting right up there, drawing up on Cameron Thompson, who disappears momentarily there. He'll click back in. Top 4 transfer again, and Steve Shaw Sr., I believe, is now retired. These 4 looks like will transfer on to the B main.
Looks like that's what's going to happen, but we'll still enjoy watching the battles out there as Tyler Ward's trying to hold off Cameron Thompson. Wiggles a little bit out of turn 2. Thompson draws in, but it looked like Thompson lifted. Wise choice by Cameron Thompson not to cause any trouble when he's guaranteed a spot. But Steven Goldner rubs up against that guardrail out of turn 4.
We'll ride on board with Steven Goldner as he straight and steady down the straightaway, and look how quickly they turn to the left, just throw it hard into the corner, and as he works it to set it off of corner number 4.
And you're seeing more and more of that wiggle. He'll come off the corner here, probably have to make a correction just with the direction he's heading down the backstretch. Shane Pierce bounces off the guardrail just a little bit there. Now Goldner working a couple of feet off the cushion down through the turn.
Matthew Burt watching on YouTube says they make it look so easy. It's definitely not that for sure. It's not easy in real life, I'm sure, and it's not easy in this game, this simulator either.
We need to commend our racers for putting a lot of time and energy into getting better on iRacing.
Steven Goldner, Tyler Ward, Cameron Thompson, Shane Pierce will all transfer to the B main. Joey Harriman, Steve Shaw Sr. done for the evening, as the B main is basically set and locked and ready to go. We'll have the lineup for it in just a moment. The B Main brought to you by our good friends at Burger Barn. It's a tie where I'm going to get to the quickest. So Shweekend Speedway or Burger Barn once the lockdown is over. I'm thinking Burger Barn first, then to the track. Racing's always better on a full stomach.
Isn't it, though? I don't like to agree with you, Greg. It just doesn't suit me, but I got to go with you on this one.
All right. B Main set, ready to go. It's going to be 12 laps. And, well, that's interesting. 15
everyone makes
transfer. Everyone, well, 15. 3 cars that aren't even in it transfer to the A Main.
It's a glitch with iRacing. When you have a certain number of cars, it won't fill a full 24-car field, even though you have those cars in it. And a little bit annoying, but it's one of the things that iRacing, I'm sure, will tweak.
Plus, got to remember, we've got 3 people in the server. Blake Nutley, Roger Craig, and myself who show up in the lineup because we're in watching or managing the race. So that alters the setup for C mains, B mains, and the breakdowns as well. So it will be Jason Thompson going from the pole in this one in the 16 to his outside, the one of Ashton Dickie. Tyler Pacholski will go from the 3rd spot. Steve Shaw Jr. goes from 4th. 5th, Ryan Beagle. Unfamiliar territory for him down deep here in the B main. Sean Evans on his outside. Cameron Kokrick will go from the 7th spot. 8th, Stephen Goldner. 9th, Tyler Ward. 10th, Cameron Thompson. 11th, Shane Pierce. And by the looks of it, from the scoreboard, all will transfer. And that may mean that Joey Harrimans may still be available, as would Steve Shaw from the C main.
Yeah, maybe it does work that way. I know the winner of this race is going to have a top 10 starting spot in the feature.
Very good drivers in this.
Oh, yeah.
Green flag, Burger Barn, B main for the Ohsweken Stars here on Friday Night I-Xcitement.
Boy, did they ever fan out. One car there made a huge move on the inside. I'm not sure who that was, but I think they passed a pit full of cars.
Pacholski gets into Thompson into Evans. As we continue on, 2 laps on the scoreboard, 10 to go here in the B main. And I was about to say, Adam, of all the races, this is kind of a good race to be in when you know everyone transfers. Kind of a freebie to test your limits in a racing situation to see how far you can push the limit.
More so at this track than any place else, Greg, to that point. If you're not running the outside, you have to respect the car running the outside is going to have a lot more speed than you do. If you are running the outside, you have to understand the same thing. The closing rate, as we see another pile up there off of turn 4. And I think that was Goldner getting the worst of that, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Had the nose clipped and sent into the wall.
These drivers don't have spotters. Ooh, boy, Dickie. Shaw get around. Shaw doesn't take on much damage, so he'll be able to get rolling again. But trouble for Dickie. That's going to allow Pacholski to roll right up on the back of the race leader. But there's nobody on a radio to tell you when you're clear, so you have to kind of go by the seat of your pants. But look at how much faster the car on the outside was there.
Ashton Dickie's got it wound up on the top side. Tyler Pacholski trying to work the lower lane. We'll see what they do going down in 3 and 4. This time Pacholski takes it up top. Riding on board with Tyler Pacholski as they head down the back stretch. And as you enter the corner, see that black patch right there down to the inside of Tyler Pacholski as you enter the corner. I find it's almost trickier here than other tracks where it starts to rubber up because you've carried so much speed down that long straightaway that once you hit that patch, unless you get that car turned properly, it's just like ice and it'll send you up into the wall faster than most tracks.
Yeah, for sure. Love that camera angle right there to illustrate. It's almost like when you run the high groove, you're getting stretched through a rubber band. As long as you keep it up where the tacky grip is, you're being stretched by a rubber band and flung down the next straightaway. But like you say, if you miss your entry in the next corner, that rubber band just gets snapped.
3 laps to go, this time by the Burger Barn B main for the Ohsweken Stars. The A main still to come, plus our associate. We've also got the Pinty's Pro-Am and the Middleport Mechanical Street Stock Challenge to come here tonight. As we wind down this B main, my name's Greg Kellman, with me Adam Ross, along with Clinton Jeffrey on Friday night I-Xcitement.
These races have been exciting tonight, that's for sure, as Michalski pouring the pressure on for the lead. Now that groove is getting right up there towards the guardrail as they approach the white flag, Greg.
Oh, Shane Pierce bounces off the wall as Ashton Dickie has done a very nice job in that Strickland car number 1. He set sail down into corners 3 and 4 for the final time.
Comes off the corner, leaving plenty of room between himself and the wall. He's going to take the win over Michalski, Kokrick, Cameron Thompson, Shane Pierce, Tyler Ward, Sean Evans, Ryan Beagle, who's going to start deep in this A main. I wish our cool-down laps sometimes looked like that. Just park in the middle of the track and let people pile through you.
Just disappear.
Well, guys, that'll take us through the first
session.
Part of the program here. Yeah, Greg, and they'll have a 5-minute warm-up. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll go split screen here and be back in for the start of the A main in about 2 minutes' time.
Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they're made for? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Pinty's Chicken Wings, just like you get at the pub. Official sponsor of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, 8-time Grey Cup champs and kings of Steeltown. Pinty, making great food fun.
Excitement for Ohsweken Speedway from the virtual Williams Grove Speedway for Ohsweken Speedway. Again, my name Greg Kellman, with me Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, as we get ready for the Ohsweken Stars Cool Kids Ice and Water A main event. And we've seen some great racing so far tonight. And Adam, when we talked about Williams Grove, I think if we'd run this week 1 or week 2, it would have been a big problem. We've seen so much improvement in this core group of drivers that this was the right week to do it, because we did see some problems in those qualifying heats, but not the carnage that you might have expected earlier on.
I think you're absolutely right. And as we say, the drivers have put in the time and gotten themselves better. And the racetracks are just the tracks. The drivers are the ones holding the steering wheel, the gas pedal, and the brake pedal. It's up to them how they drive it. So we've seen some good close racing. We've seen some bad decisions, but it's a racetrack. You're going to get that.
Where shall we go next week, guys?
I'm
dare still a fan of going back. I'm busy next Friday. If we go to Fairbury. No, I mean, it would be interesting. I think we go back to the beginning, personally. But I thought that last week, and I was wrong, because Williams Grove is a great place to put on races. So
The only other option I could think of maybe would be Lanier.
Lanier is a lot of fun.
Let's do it. Lanier next Friday. Greg, give us the A-main here from Williams Grove for the Ohsweken Stars.
Alan Downey will roll from the pole. Alongside him, Nick Sheridan in the 45. Chase Hest will go from position number 3 in the 777. And DJ Christie's looks stout tonight. He'll go from spot number 4. Starting in 5th, the 14 of Jim Hoop. And in 6th will be the 28 of Donnie Lampman. Going from the 7th spot, Travis Miller in the 22. And his outside, the 68 of Aaron Turkey. Rolling off 9th, Nick Erskine. Good evening for him so far. And Ashton Dickie on his outside going from 10th. Tyler Pacholski will start in the 11th spot in car number 21. And going from 12th, Cameron Kokrick in the 7th. Cameron Thompson is in Jordan Hills number 13 tonight. He'll go from the 13th position. Alongside him, Shane Pierce in the 88. Tyler Ward starts 15th with Sean Evans 16th. Ryan Beagle all the way back in 17th. Watch him to work through the field in the 84. 18th will be Steve Shaw Jr. 19th, Stephen Goldner. 20th, Jason Thompson's 20 cars, 25 laps, manual caution flags here this evening.
Youngsters on the outside, Nick Sheridan and DJ Christie, but it's Alan Downey getting out in front with a great start.
Nick Sheridan working that outside line, trying to track down leader Alan Downey as the youngsters work down in corners 1 and 2.
I'm a little surprised Alan Downey has stayed down on the bottom of the racetrack. It's working for him here in the early going, but Nick Sheridan trying to close in, so he goes into the corner a little bit low, lets it drift up into that tacky stuff, but you can see where Alan Downey is getting his speed off the turn is running right to the bottom on the extreme exit of the corner. I think he just clipped the guardrail.
Taking a look at the live scoring, Stephen Goldner started in 19th. And is up to the 6th spot on lap number 4. That's no easy feat on this racetrack.
No, that's finding a groove all to yourself that nobody's in and making it work. But Stephen Goldner's been the class of the field. That's no big surprise. Right now, the other driver on the move is Travis Miller. He's up to 3rd, hounding Nick Sheridan for that 2nd spot.
And he started back in 7th and has worked his way here. Battling to the inside of Sheridan as they work off of corner number 4 on board with Travis Miller.
The challenge with the line he's running. So watch this. He'll go in on the bottom. Oh, Sheridan gets way sideways. They'll look for the grip down low. If there is a car running the cushion on the outside that gets a good run, they're going to go by them like they're standing still. As long as you find that grip on the bottom, it'll work. Watch Nick Sheridan come off the corner. Came out of the corner behind Travis Miller, beats him by a full car length.
Working lap number 7 of this 25-lap event. Clean and green so far with Alan Downey, Nick Sheridan, Travis Miller, Chase Hess, and DJ Christie, your top 5. Stephen Goldner's back there in that 6th spot, and that's kind of where he's plateaued to this point. Now he'll work to the inside of DJ Christie.
As always, the closer he gets to the front of the field, the harder every pass is to make. Is Christie going to slide him down into 3? He's got the lead. Goldner sort of closed the door. DJ Christie respected his line, and Goldner with the spot.
Christie, Goldner starting in the 19th spot, currently the highest he's been in this first 9 laps of this A-main event for the Ohsweken Stars. Brought to you by Cool Kids Ice and Water. Side by side for 2nd, Travis Miller. A little bit ahead of these guys going at it.
Now we're going to see some slower traffic. Alan Downey closing in. I believe that's Shane Pierce right in front of the race leader. Wow, Sheridan comes off of 4, needs about 3 lanes to gather that car in.
Nick Sheridan in that second spot, right behind leader Alan Downey, battling side by side with Travis Miller. Miller down on the inside line in that yellow and red, number 22. Goldner catching the top three now. Oh, he shaved over a half a second that lap.
Goldner on the extreme inside, so now even Miller's headed up to the outside. Of course, now that I say that, he'll drive to the bottom in 3 and 4.
Lap traffic right in front of Alan Downey.
I don't mean to wish any poor luck on anybody, but Nick Sheridan is just overdriving turn 4 a little bit. I feel that's going to hurt him here. I think Travis Miller and Stephen Goldner, unless Sheridan can roll out of the throttle a little bit. Oh, boy.
Got a car around in corner 4 was Ashton Dickie, I believe, and Alan Downey got spun around and now finds himself in 5th, probably wondering where the caution flag was.
Yeah, the one challenge with manual cautions is they can be hard to spot problems on the racetrack, so Alan Downey got the worst of that exchange. We'll have another look at it down into the corner. Watch for a parked car. Nick Sheridan probably on the tail tank of Alan Downey, and not so much a car stopped up ahead. Travis Miller takes advantage, rides out in front with Goldner second, Sheridan third.
Goldner just getting by Sheridan that lap as they work down to the corner. A little bit of wide open racetrack for leader Travis Miller. Stephen Goldner tucked down low as well. Sheridan continuing to use that outside line. Look how rubbered down it is entering the corners. There's two very extremely thin lines you can try to run, the top or the bottom, just to find any sort of grip.
And Miller drives it in there and the car just slides up. So now they're balancing, but look at Stephen Goldner. A little bit more experience from Goldner in the 30, so he'll scrub off even more speed to really get the car down into the tacky clay and get a drive off the corner. We saw Nick Sheridan bounce it off the wall, so you want to hit the throttle even harder to go faster, but it's going to make you slower.
Gotta give a call out to Ryan Beagle. He started 17th. He's caught Nick Sheridan. He's in that 4th spot now, about 0.6 of a second back behind Sheridan and closing.
This track is not quite slick enough for Ryan Beagle to really excel. Like if it glazed over slick, Ryan Beagle, I think, would be even in better shape than he is. We'll have 5 laps to go this time when they cross the stripe, as Stephen Goldner is stuck out in front of Travis Miller.
Goldner back to the top of the board as they come down the front stretch. Plenty of lap traffic in front. Got to also give call-outs to Cameron Kokrick, started 12th. He's up to 7th. And a good run for Steve Shaw Jr. He started 18th. He's up in 9th.
Travis Miller is doing everything he can. He sees what Goldner is up to. He's mimicking what the leader is doing. He's not falling too far back. Almost ate that slower car there on the front stretch.
3.5 laps left to go. Still lap traffic in front of leader Stephen Goldner. Miller loses a bit of ground that time, trying to close the gap down in 3 and 4. And Ryan Beagle trying to make the pass. Looks like he has made it on Sheridan for 3rd.
The lap's winding down here at Williams Grove. And Stephen Goldner pulling away probably about 2-3 of a second a lap, which doesn't seem like much, but when you're in the driver's seat of Travis Miller's car, it probably feels like he's in reverse.
Down the back stretch they go. Stephen Goldner catching Jim Hoopinen, who rides back in the 11th spot right now. The final car on the lead lap. Working it off of corner 4 to see the white flag. Stephen Goldner back on top. Can he hold on for one more circuit around?
One more lap. He's got Jim Hoopinen to contend with. He'll work the bottom of the racetrack through 1 and 2, right around the middle down the back stretch, giving himself plenty of room.
Checkers out.
Back
Steve
to
Goldner will
victory lane.
win.
Goldner
Miller
with the win.
second.
Sorry, Greg, I thought you disappeared.
Miller second, Beagle third, Sheridan with a good solid run up there in fourth. Alan Downey, unfortunately, was maybe the car to beat. Finishes fifth after that problem mid-race. Cameron Kokrick, solid performance in sixth. Chase Hess, solid again in seventh. Eighth across the line was DJ Christie. Ninth, Steve Shaw, who had a great run from 18th up to ninth. And Donnie Lampman finishes in the 10th spot. Jim Hoopin in the final car on the lead lap back there in the 11th spot. So in just a moment, we'll head down to Safety Clean Victory Lane and hear from our top three as Clinton Jeffrey will catch up with Steve Goldner, Travis Miller, and Ryan Beagle. All of them had to do some work tonight. Travis Miller made up 5 spots, but the other two, Beagle came from 17th up to 3rd, and Goldner from 19th to 1st, and he made up most of those positions in the first 4 laps.
Well, here we are in Safety Clean Victory Lane. Blake Nutley just gave me the go-ahead that Victory Lane is ready. All drivers have their gear off. Thanks, Blake. We're ready here with Stephen Goldner. Stephen, must be nice to be back on the top step of the podium after last week's misfortune, debacle. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but not the result you're looking for last week, but you rebound great here tonight.
Yeah, last week wasn't really the week we wanted, but came back strong this week and still struggled throughout the night with trying to keep the car under me and trying to stay away from other cars. But we made it work in the A main, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, your car looked really good at the end. You were just pulling away, picking those laps up. What makes William Grove challenging?
Hitting the bottom pretty well. I mean, the top was there too a little bit at the beginning, but once the bottom comes in, you gotta really get the car down there so you can get a good exit. But sometimes it's tough. I missed it quite a bit tonight too, but it's trying to minimize your mistakes and try to get the best out of your car.
Great drive here tonight. Congratulations. We'll watch for you in the Pinty's Pro-Am coming up here shortly.
Thanks a lot.
Stephen Goldner, multi-time feature winner here on Friday Night Excitement, picks up another one in the Big O Stars division in the Cool Kids Ice and Water Sprint Car feature. Second place here tonight, Travis Miller. Travis looking really good in that 22 car. You had a solid run. Talk about driving off the bottom here today. You're one of those guys who seem to poke it down on the inside a lot here tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad at the beginning. There was a lot of grip down there, and then the top kind of came in 1 and 2, and I went up there for too long, and I could see Steven coming on the relative, getting closer and closer, and I couldn't follow his same line after he got around me in 1 and 2, and that was it. I had to settle for a second.
Let's talk about the incident with Alan Downey right in front of you there. What happened?
Yeah, they that lap car was just on the top of the track, and Nick didn't see him fast enough, and then when Alan checked up, they both turned, and I got around both of them, just praying that I didn't get snipped in the right rear, and I was lucky enough to get around him, and I thought that was it. I thought that was going to be the race, and Steven rained on my parade.
Great job here tonight. Travis Miller finishes second on the podium here. It's Ice and Water Sprint Car feature here on Friday Night Excitement. Third place, a guy who's no stranger to Victory Lane at the Big O, and he joins us here in Safety Clean Victory Lane here tonight. Ryan Beagle, great run here in this 84 car. Greg mentioned right as you were going green that you started around 17th, and you were one of the guys to watch. Great job picking your way through the field tonight, big dog.
Yeah, that was fun. It's kind of challenging trying to get around some guys, but we made it. I didn't lose the front wing, so I guess that's all that matters.
Ryan, we look to you as one of the street stock specialists. Obviously, that's what your outdoor program consists of. What are we going to see here tonight in the Middleport Mechanical Street Stock race? I think these long straightaways are going to stretch things out and make it a good race here tonight. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I hope so. I haven't run a lot here in the street stock. I imagine it'll be similar to USA. The corners are a bit tighter here, but should be a good race.
All right, there you have it from Safety Clean Victory Lane for the Big O Stars tonight. Stephen Goldner in car number 30. The winner, second place, Travis Miller in the 22 and the 84. RK of Ryan Beagle rounds out the podium here in Safety Clean Victory Lane here on May 22nd for Friday Night Excitement. We are ready to switch gears and jump over to the Big O Associates. You just watched a lot of the Ohsweken Stars who get it done on a weekly basis. Now we're watching the B main, lap 2 of 10, and we'll turn over to Greg Callan for the call of the race here. These are the Big O Associates.
Yeah, joining in progress, B main for the Big O Associates. Now, unfortunately, I'm not in the server, so I don't have a full driver roster here, but it's like the 69 of Hess and our corner two cameraman, Greg Boydell, up there in that second spot. And an unlikely guy in this B main, Adam, Mike Schultz back there in the third spot.
Mike Schultz, Chad Cote, that's a big surprise. Mike Tuvey out there in the fifth spot. Hasn't Tuvey raced something at I-Xcitement, Clint?
You know, Mike Tuvey was a mini stalker, but I don't know if he actually raced at I-Xcitement. I mean, I'm sure he would jump into the Big O Stars. I know Tuvey was a Pro 4 truck driver at Humberstone. That's what it was. But I don't think he ever made it to I-Xcitement.
Yep. Okay, there you go. Familiar name to us, though, that's for sure.
I think one year he won like 11 features at Humberstone. Just dominated the field in his Pro 4 trucks.
Halfway through this one, Greg Boydell out in front over Chad Cote, Mike Schultz. Some of the drivers we'd expect to be transferring onto the A main tonight for the Big O Associates. This is the B main brought to you by Bradshaw Brothers, and I am not sure because I'm not in the server. I can't tell how many transfer out of this one.
I believe all of them will get there, basically. So Greg Boydell out in front by 0.3 of a second as they approach 2 laps to go here. Next time by the stripe. Still a lot of close racing out there. Man, oh man, there's some great battles on the go. Again, a lot of the action here has worked its way up towards the outside, towards the cushion. But if you're a driver in the B main, maybe you don't have the savvy to go down and try the inside like we were seeing out of our Stars division, where there was a lot of bite down there, a lot of speed to be found.
Good battle up front on this final lap. Greg Boydell, Mike Schultz, and Chad Cote. Good, close racing. Boydell leads it through 3 and 4. Here comes the 11 of Cote on the bottom, and Boydell will pick up the win.
Great battle to the finish line. A fantastic, clean contest. That's what we like to see.
Well, guys, great job here in the B main for the Big O Associates. We'll be right back after a quick break with the A main for the Big O Associates coming up, followed by the Pinty's Pro-Am, and still the Street Stock feature tonight. So don't go away. Lots of great action still to come. These guys will get into their warm-up session. We'll take a quick break and let you know how you can stay up to date with everything going on here on GeForce TV.
Your cell phone, whatever it is, go to GeForceTV.net. Type that in your browser, and that will take you right to the official YouTube page of GeForce TV. And down to the right-hand side, you'll see the big red subscribe button. Make sure you click on that. But don't stop there. Once you've subscribed, then you want to make sure you hit the little ringer to the right. That's the notification bell. And anytime there's new content uploaded to GeForce TV, you'll get a notification, whether it be on your computer, on your device, whatever it is, you'll know when there is content. And as we've been saying, it's so important when you're watching these videos on YouTube or for the meantime on Facebook, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it a like, make sure you're sharing these links, and that helps the actual content grow and populate throughout YouTube, specifically for the GeForce channel. Back at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway for Friday night I-Xcitement for our Shwekin Speedway. My name's Greg Kellman. With me, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, as we get ready for the A main for the Big O Associates, brought to you by Strickland's. And then, of course, we still have the Pinty's Pro-Am Sprint Car Shootout to follow that. The top 18 from the I-Xcitement Stars feature that we just saw a few moments ago, along with the top 6 from this forthcoming A main. And then to close out the night in the Middleport Mechanical Street Stock Challenge, always a good one as well. So make sure that you stay tuned. If you're watching with us on Facebook, give us a like and a share. And if you're following on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to GeForceTV.net, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little ringer, give us a thumbs up, join us in the chat as we continue on here with this warm-up session for the Big O Associates. So guys, we've talked about Next week, potentially being Lanier. I think that has been decided on. I think the only other two dirt tracks we haven't run at are Fairbury, which I've actually seen comments of people saying, please, not Fairbury. And the other one would be Kokomo. I don't know what your thoughts are about Kokomo. I've run it once, kind of similar to Fairbury in that it could get messy, but hard to say. If there's any other dirt track that I'm not thinking of, please, by all means, mention it in the comments.
The Lanier call was a good call. That's a good racetrack. Lots of room out there. Fun place to drive. You can't get away. I mean, there is always going to be action. It's like Brewerton Speedway. There's always going to be action.
Well, quickly, I just want to let people know the Big O Stars are drivers who've actually raced at the Big O, and the associates are friends, family, crew, and sponsors, and anybody else who wants to be a part of our Friday night broadcast. And here they are for the A-Main and Greg with the call of the race.
And Adam, I'll defer to you for the starting lineup for this one. Well, there it is on the screen. So we'll just follow that. Ian Blanchard will go from the pole in the A-Main. Alongside him, Jeffrey Barker in the 51 machine. Always stout are those two drivers. Jeff Flaro back there in that third starting spot. Alongside him, Mr. Pizza, Mike Husby in car number 60. He wins. The announcers get pizza. That's been the deal every week. I'm sure that will continue on this week, I hope. Cody Olson starts from the 5th spot in car number 6. Alongside him, Nathan Jackson in the 18. Going from the 7th spot will be Michael Milton in car number 5. And Connor Ross back there in the 035 will start in 8th. Andrew Smith goes from 9th in the 79. And Greg Boydell in the 014 goes from the 10th position. 11th, that's where we'll find Chad Cote and Mike Schultz, fresh out of the B main. Sidney Hess, that's who's behind the wheel of the 69. Sidney starts from 13th. And Mike Tuvey, there's Mike back there starting in the 14th position. Corey Whittam starts from 15th in the 55, and Steve Shaw in the 96 will go from 16th. David Miller in the 411. From the 17th spot, Anthony Grocott from the 18th position in car number 7. 19th, Donald Dory in the 81. Don Dolson in the 04 will go from 20th. And Lee Winger scheduled to start 21st. Last week, Mike Schultz was the talk after the street stock feature, and what a finish that was. He played the billiard shot to beat Ryan Beagle. He's in this one. Watch him in that number 19 tonight, the white and green machine. Talked to him after. He says, man, I feel awful. I said, don't. It gave us some great entertainment as announcers.
It was fantastic. I mean, obviously, if we were trying to create pure and pristine racing, we would shame him for that move. But it was fun to watch.
I told him, I said, Mike, there's no way you could ever plan to even do that. So you should be proud of it. I know Ryan Beagle maybe doesn't think so, but that was a work of art. Green is out here in the Associates feature, 25 laps.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, I believe it was 7,000 signals. I hear myself. The pack tightly bunched down the back straightaway, headed under the bridge. Jeff Flaro up on the outside, opposite to the B main we just watched. Everyone's working the inside of the racetrack.
Oh, carnage off the corner 4. We stay under the green flag.
Ian Blanchard. He might have got a little bit high there in the corner, still trying to gather it in. That's allowed Cody Olson to get by, secure that race lead. Top
so
6 have
Blanchard,
broken
Husby,
away.
And Claro. Cody Olson out in front. Ian Blanchard there in the 2nd spot. Oh, Olson goes around in corner number 2, up and over on lap number 5.
I didn't see what he hit there.
No, he was out of the shot, and he was already rolling by the time we got to the corner. Let's watch the replay as he goes into corner 1. Oh, he caught the guardrail on the exit of corner 1, and then Ian Blanchard got into him and sent him over. And all the while,
All
look who's out
happens
in
so
front,
quick.
guys. Look who's out in front.
Pizza! Pizza is out in front. The top 5 still. Oh my goodness, what a battle for that lead. Husby hanging on, but Ian Blanchard pouring the pressure to him.
Top 5.
You know how Fox had
car.
You know how Fox had the blue haze behind the puck? We need like pepperoni pieces behind Mike Husby's car so we always know where it is.
He did us proud 1 week ago. He's getting there. He's been as high as first, started back in the 4th spot. He's trailing Ian Blanchard right now. Blanchard's been good in the sprints and in the street stocks every week since we got on air with Friday Night I-Xcitement.
Connor was not impressed last week. My parting comment that I never wanted to have to choose between my son and pizza again. But it did put me in a pretty horrible spot.
Three wide action off a quarter. Number 4. Greg Boydell in the thick of that, though. He is a lap down right now. Connor Ross, who picked up the win a week ago, up there in that 4th spot.
Yeah, he's in the battle, but not quite all the way in. Now, what paint scheme is Husby running this week? That's not the IWX scheme. Trouble for Husby.
Just like that, the pizza gone.
It almost looks like, I can't remember if it was the Miller Genuine Draft or a Coors Light scheme that was popular 30 years ago, but I digress.
Hey,
He's out of the picture. Our pizza dreams
Don't you know
are
what the
shattered.
rule is? When the pizza guy's running good, you don't curse him. You don't even talk about him. Don't talk
How
about
can
Pizza
you
Club.
not?
It's the first rule of Pizza Club.
Love it. Flaro, Barker, Blanchard, 3 cars under a blanket. This is a battle for the lead, and it has been going on lap after lap after lap as Blanchard gets sideways there in the turn.
14 laps on the board. This time will be 15 laps. Jeff Flaro leading the way. Of course, Jeff picked up the big win in the Pinty's Pro-Am a couple of weeks back when Stephen Goldner took that challenge. Nonetheless, Jeff had a very solid run and picked up that win. He's been there in the mix on the podium on most nights in that 00. He does the Ohsweken Speedway proud carrying the Steyrs Racing colors.
Flaro has a lot of speed, and this has to be sketchy as there's a car out there that keeps disappearing directly in front of these race leaders. That's always a challenge.
Jeffrey Barker working the inside line. He's been right up there every week as well. Another one of the weekly contenders in the associates. And that's been the nice thing about having this division, is getting to know some of these iRacers or people associated with Ohsweken Speedway that don't necessarily race, and they're becoming names that we're used to on a weekly basis. That's cool.
Barker's a nice guy too, fun to have around. He races clean, he races hard. Enjoyable to watch. So now we're back to a 3-car battle for the lead. Flaro's been searching. He's been up top, he's been down low, he's been all over the racetrack looking for that speed. But again, Jeff Barker back out in front. Blanchard to second, putting on the pressure. Oh, Flaro clips the inside wall.
Nice job to gather it back up, though, and now he's going to fall into the clutches of Connor Ross, who's looking to get back on the podium. This time battle will be 20 laps, 5 to go.
I think we're riding on board with Connor Ross right now off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Wow, trouble up ahead. There were cars going everywhere there. 5 laps to go this time, and they cross the stripe.
Down the front stretch comes Jeffrey Barker leading Ian Blanchard. Connor Ross riding in the 3rd spot. Mike Husby 4th. Jeff Flaro back to 5th. As Barker's been able to get probably the biggest advantage we've seen yet in this A main for the Ohsweken Associates.
Yeah, it's 0.3 of a second, about 5 car lengths. As we look at this, down into turn number 1, we're riding on board with Blanchard, right behind Central New York's Jeffrey Barker. Much like we saw to Nick Sheard. Go ahead, Greg.
Some tracks we go to in iRacing and you watch, and laps behind the wheel can look very similar. You kind of get the sense watching on board here tonight as the battle for second heats up. There's no 2 laps the exact same for any driver.
No, it really, I think you hit the nail right on the head there. What I was going to comment is watching Ian Blanchard reminds me of watching Nick Sheridan in our Stars feature. The harder you drive this racetrack at Williams Grove, the more it punches you right in the mouth. You almost have to back it down a little bit and pick your spots. We're watching Jeff Barker really pick away on the bite at the bottom of the racetrack. Connor Ross was trying to, but you could see him kick the car sideways and lose that speed.
He's made up a lot of ground in a short time, and he would love, well, he's going to have a chance for it. It's not too late as they go down into 3 and 4. Here's the battle for the win, but I think Ross is going to come up short. Jeffrey Barker across the line, gets it over Connor Ross. A great run by Connor, though, to get up to that second spot. Ian Blanchard, third. Mike Husby, like he'll cross the line in 4th. Well, he made it interesting at the very end.
He did so. He did. That was fun to watch. Really good show. And great job by Jeff Barker.
Yeah, Jeffrey Barker, great run. The type of guy you love to see win. He's been supportive since day one. And here he is headed to safety clean victory lane. Of course, stay tuned. We still have the Pinty's Pro-Am still to come. Top 6 from this race against the top 18 from our Stars feature. And we have the Middleport Mechanical Street Stock Challenge to come as well. So we'll get things set up down in safety clean victory lane and throw things over to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, Greg. The Associates put on another great race here at Williams Grove. We were worried, or maybe not worried, concerned that the racing might not be the way we wanted it, but it is fantastic here tonight. So let's talk to our top 3. First off, Jeffrey Barker finishes first in car number 51. Jeff, thanks for coming back and racing with us. You're looking pretty good out there at Williams Grove tonight. Talk about your evening.
It was great. It was just slick enough to spread out and race, but still enough tackiness that we didn't get goofy.
Yeah, at one point, the top 4 were all right there, and we've seen some 3 and even 4 wide racing coming off the turns. What's the trickiest part of Williams Grove for you?
It's always turn 4, trying to not hit the wall on either side because you're using so much track carrying speed out of there.
Great job here, Jeff. Congrats on the win.
All right, thank you.
Moving on to second place, Connor Ross. Connor, great drive here in the 35. You've been really improving your game. Safe to say that COVID has helped your iRacing career.
Well, considering I don't have a day job, I would have worked anyways. Would have been on the sim a lot. That's true.
Yeah, but let's face it. No school. You've got all the time in the world to get out there and race. And been picking up some money, I hear, out there racing some of these other deals.
Yeah, Dad threw some money into the bank account to go run some money races and was able to pick up some money running with the ESS iRacing race that they had in Knoxville, our Charger. Going to run with their league next year full-time on iRacing, so can't wait for that. It's going to be fun.
Good job, Connor. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Third place, Ian Blanchard here tonight, car number 39. Ian, great job. You've been driving pretty good in these events with us on Friday nights. Safe to say you've been having some fun. Waiting to hear if we've got Ian. Ian, hello.
There. He's just not talking.
All right, they say his mic is muted in Discord, so we'll have to hopefully talk to Ian here at the end of the Pinty's Pro-Am or the Street Stock race. He's run good in both of them in recent weeks. We'll watch for the 39. That'll take us to a quick commercial break. We'll be back here on Friday night excitement for the Pinty's Pro-Am and the Middleport Mechanical Street Stock race. We've got 2 features left to go. Stick around. They are some of the most exciting. We're going to take the top 18 from the Stars and the top 6 from the Associates and combine them in the Pinty's Pro-Am coming up right after the break.
Introducing GeForce TV. GeForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GeForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GeForce TV racing leagues. GeForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GeForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GeForce TV.
Take a look inside any rotary combine, and you'll find single rotor technology. Technology Case IH introduced over 35 years ago with the axial flow combine. But unless it gives you more bells and whistles with fewer belts and chains, more power using less fuel, it's not an axial flow. Because while the heart of every rotary combine beats red, only Case IH gives you the power to do more.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Welcome back to the virtual Williams Grove Speedway for Friday Night Excitement, Washougal Speedway style. Greg Kellman along with Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey. And guys, I am just glad to know that virtual racing knows no boundaries. We've got another kid running on Daddy's bank account here tonight. We heard there in Victory Lane. What do you think of that, Clint?
I think it's good. The big Daddy Ross picked up the money and put up some ponies to get the kid in the races. You know, instead of buying pizza and ice cream.
He doesn't realize yet the payouts also come to Big Daddy's bank account, so I'm loving it. Hammer down,
you know,
son.
30, 30, 30. Isn't that how it goes? 30 to the driver, 30 to the rig, and 30 to the dad. So you might make some money after. I think he owes you about $21 from what I've heard, Adam. So make sure you collect on that. Guys, the racing's been absolutely amazing so far. And if you're just joining us, folks, we appreciate you being with us. This is a chance for us to get our drivers together, get our community together on Friday nights and, you know, kind of scratch the backs of our sponsors a lot. And many of them are essential services who are out there. So if you see their logos up there, make sure you go out and give them your first options. But some really cool stuff that comes in. And Dusty DeBoer, we know as our mini stock champion, is also an accountant and does a great job with some numbers. And he sent me a wicked chart today, and we want to kind of analyze that. So Spencer, throw up the chart, if you will, while we watch the drivers get ready for the Pinty's Pro-Am. So if you look at this chart, you know, going down the left side, it's the championships one. And Greg, I'm going to send this to you. Maybe you can share this on the Facebook page for everybody to just spend some time analyzing all these numbers. There's a ton of data on this page. So you can see this is combined over all the divisions, top fives, top tens, and the best ranking driver based on Washougal Speedway points finishes from the last 10 years. So Hoopinen's at the top, Corey Turner, Mike Thorne. And I asked Dusty to give us some thoughts on it. So here's a couple notes. He said, here's my notes on the 2010 to 2019 season. First number that jumps at us, 27 different champions across the division. So I think that's pretty amazing, Greg. Your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, for sure. It shows the diversity, especially when you got guys like Dave Bailey that have been winning year after year and guys like Dylan Westbrook. You would think that number would be a lot lower, but to see 27, that's very impressive, and it shows exactly how competitive Ohsweken Speedway is. I think that number highlights it the best.
Yeah, let's get back to the screen, Spencer, with all the stats on it and Dusty's notes, which were, as we mentioned here, I love the title, The Dusty Den of Data. 9 multi-time champions, so 9 different drivers have won multiple championships. 3 won multi-win division championships, meaning they've won in more than one division. 2 drivers have won 0 win championships, meaning they won the championship without any feature wins. Mike Thorne in 2011 and David Silverthorne Jr. in the 2014 both are Thunderstock seasons. Then 4 drivers were second in points more than once, no championships. And Adam, that one really stands out. When you look there, you got to think of a guy like Trevor DeBoer and Corey Turner. Out of those 2 drivers, those are the ones that really step out at me, because they're perennial podium finishers week in and week out and have just not got it done. So interesting thought there.
You know what it is? To say you're right, just not got it done. But it's so many things that add up to make that happen. And we've seen some amazing final point night battles at Ohsweken where circumstances so far outside of a driver's control have led to that driver winning or losing a championship on that night. Of course, it takes the whole season to get there, but it's amazing how minuscule the issue is that can keep you from a title or win you a title.
Yeah, and the last one here on the chart of Dusty's notes, 1 driver finished in the top 10 in points in 4 different divisions, and that being Jake Brown. And I don't know, let's go back to the chart if we can there, Spencer, for a minute. But I super impressed. I love that Dusty sends us the stats. And, when you look down the list of the rankings here, it's pretty awesome to see how this is all. And, of course, they're not stacked up. Their best rank is their best ranking over the years and where they finished in the championships. But I think it's been super cool to see these guys go. And there's one other stat that I don't think I got to you guys here. I'm just going to go back and find it. And I believe it was that Jim Hoopinen is on an amazing Ironman streak. Basically saying, and I can't find it here. Hold on. I'm going to find it. Yes. So Jim Hoopinen is on an amazing Ironman streak. He's finished in the top 10 in points in the last 10 years. So right from Dusty, Jim Hoopinen is on a 10-year Ironman streak of top 10 points finishes. So that's pretty impressive too, guys. In a tough division like the 360 sprints where anything can take you out, the field has been very strong in the past couple of years again. That's quite a streak for Jim Hoopinen to keep that alive. 10 seasons in the top 10 in points.
The one that kind of stands out to me is that last one, one driver, Jake Brown, that's finished top 10 in points in all 4 divisions. And that's one that might not change because the progression has changed a little bit at Ohsweken Speedway. It used to be street stock, thunder stock, up to the sprint cars. But now we're seeing a lot of drivers go from the micro sprints right to the crate sprint cars and kind of foregoing the stock car divisions. Not that those divisions are hurting in numbers by any means, but that progression isn't the same as it used to be. And I couldn't have even told you that Jake Brown had even accomplished that. So good on him that he was able to do that.
Yeah, and let's talk about how iRacing has become a new stepping stone as well, too. So you may see drivers like Alan Downey more coming right from the sim into a crate sprint car. And when guys like Alan Downey can show that you can just be a green as green can be rookie and come right of the simulator into the deal, it's basically akin to fighting wars on a F-22 simulator and then jumping into the real one and performing in dogfights. It's amazing to see how he's done. Adam, your thoughts on the progression and the stats we just read?
We all know my feeling on stats, Clinton, and you showed it when you were searching for that one thought and you couldn't find where it was on the sheet. That's why I don't go to stats so much, because I can never find them. I prefer to tell a story, but the stats do tell a story. That is really impressive with what Jim Hoopinen did. Also talking about the stepping stones, how people jump through the ranks. I've got no problem with people starting at any point. You have to start somewhere. Let's use Tyler Ward as an example, and Alan Downey. Alan Downey started off slow, and he built up to where at the end of the season he was a contender. Tyler Ward started out, he couldn't run 2 laps in a row without spinning out. By the end of the year, he was right in contention. I mean, you have to go through these stepping stones and earn your way there, and it's not always pretty, but these are the things that you have to go through.
Pinty's Pro-Am taking the grid. Greg, get us through the lineup. Here we go. This is the top 18 from the Stars and the top 6 from the Associates.
The one thing that I'm most disappointed in you, Adam, is I used to have Tommy, and he was Mr. Stats. I never had to think about them. And now when stats come up, I have to throw it to you.
Yeah, and you're going the wrong way. I promise you that.
Tommy definitely made me look a whole lot better than I ever was. As we get ready for the Pinty's Pro-Am Sprint Car Shootout, top 18 from the Ohsweken Stars, along with the top 6 from the Ohsweken Associates. Lineup looks like this. Nick Sheridan will go from the pole. On his outside, Travis Miller in the 22. Donnie Lampman will roll off third. To his outside, Steve Shaw Jr. From the 5th spot, Alan Downey and Ryan Beagle will go from 6th. The first associate all the way back there in the 7th spot, Jeffrey Barker, and he's going to be joined by fellow associate driver Mike Husby going from 8th. Ian Blanchard, another associate, from the 9th spot. Cameron Kokrick goes from 10th in car number 99, going from 11th to 14 of Jim Hoopinen. 12th will be Jeff Flero, another associate driver in the 00, and DJ Christie goes from the 13th spot. Connor Ross lines up in 14th spot in the 35. And Tyler Pachalski goes from the 15th spot in car number 21. Steve Goldner, winner tonight of the Stars event. He'll start deep again in this one, 16th. And Mike Schultz rolls off 17th in car number 16. Another one of our associates alongside Nick Erskine, who will go from the 18th spot. 19th, Chase Hess. 20th will be Aaron Turkey. So once again, 20-car field here for the Pinty's Pro-Am. I've got a racer nickname for Connor Ross. We're just going to call him Daddy's Money. Daddy's Money, Connor Ross.
Oh, that's so horrible, because I know Daddy's got none.
You've got iRacing money.
I have virtual money. I can write virtual IOUs till the cows come home.
25 laps the distance. This is always a good one. Still the Middleport Mechanical Street Stock feature to come as well. Strickland Pace Truck pulling off, coming to the green flag. The Pinty's Pro-Am. Nick Sheridan, Travis Miller bring us to the green.
I love how the night advances, so now we're racing in darkness. It just looks good.
Sheridan gets really high on 1 and 2, opens the door for Miller, and Donnie Lampman hard into the wall down the backstretch.
Yeah, I think that got worse as it went through the field there. I don't think everyone got through that. We'll see who's still alive at the start-finish line.
Travis Miller out in front, Nick Sheridan in that second spot, and since he's got his connectivity issues figured out, Nick Sheridan has been right up there at the front each and every week.
Really, really good young racer, Nick Sheridan. I mean, he's just willing to put that car wherever he's got to put it. Fun to watch. We've got so much young talent at the Speedway. Guys like Nick Sheridan, DJ Christie, Donnie Lampman. The list goes on of young racers who are just so good.
Heading down into the corner once again is Travis Miller right behind. Who are we on board here? Nick Sheridan. They're catching the lap car. That's what threw me off there. That is Mike Schultz, I believe, right in front of the leader.
So Schultz would have been one of those who had their problem on the drop of the green flag. It looks like Alan Downey and Ashton Dickie are out of this race. Sorry if you just said that, Greg, and I'm repeating it, but I'm learning things for the first time I should have already known.
So, trouble right in front of the leader, Ashton Dickie. He gets up out of the way. Travis Miller works it down the backstretch.
And if you remember, it was Travis Miller and Nick Sheridan who drove through that crash in the A main earlier and had trouble. Miller got through there a little bit more cleanly than did Nick Sheridan.
Down the backstretch they go another time. Miller out in front by half a second now over Sheridan and Ryan Beagle, who had a lot of work to do in the Stars feature earlier on tonight, running another podium position right now.
Yeah, Beagle doing himself a favor, qualifying well for this race, running in that third spot, but Koprick hot on his heels there in the 99, and Husby is not much farther behind them.
There you see Ryan Beagle down in corners 1 and 2 with Cameron Kokerick, who had a good solid finish with the Stars tonight, right there in his tire tracks, that yellow number 99. Mike Husby right behind him in the 5th position.
So out in front, Travis Miller leads by nearly half a second over Nick Sheridan. It's about 6-7 car lengths as they drive down into turn number 3. Plenty of traffic for these leaders to contend with. As you can see, Miller resting that right rear right up against the outside wall.
On board with the leader, he gets tagged to the right rear.
Trying to get up to speed as others take evasive action. I'd like to have another look at that and see what happened there with Travis Miller. That happened in a hurry.
Car just turned sharply to the right off the corner, settles back in behind Ryan Beagle. So nice save by Travis Miller nonetheless. Let's have a look at this.
So Sheridan got all sorts of squirrely there behind. That had nothing to do with Travis Miller.
There.
Oh, Miller got clipped by Erskine and hard into the wall, and Sheridan drives right around. And look at that, I'm unbelievable.
Well, Miller's still there in 3rd, and he's still not out of this. He's right behind Ryan Beagle. They both go up into the wall that time.
So Sheridan with a sizable advantage, but anything can happen. There's more than 10 laps to go, so there's still lots of racing left, lots of cars out on the racetrack. This racetrack doesn't even need other cars on it to be treacherous if you're the race leader.
Whoa, off the wall goes Miller and does a wheel stand off the corner. Trying to track down Ryan Beagle, but losing ground now.
I find myself silently cheering for Cameron Kokerick to get up there and have a podium finish. I know they treat these Friday nights as a family affair. They all enjoy the racing.
He's got company on the inside of him.
Yeah, I'm okay if my kid does all right too, but quietly I'm cheering for Cameron Kokerick.
Last week it was pizza, this week it's Cameron Kokerick.
I like options. Gotta diversify, Greg.
Good side-by-side action for that 4th position. Out in front, Nick Sheridan leads. Ryan Beagle 2nd. Travis Miller tucked in behind him in 3rd. And then this fight as Daddy's Money gets by Cameron Kokerick as they work it off a corner too.
And they're not that far behind. Oh yeah, they're not that far behind the battle. Oh, bummer. So this is not the announcer's curse. This is the director's curse that we're seeing. Every time he goes on board, bad things happen. So next week, I want to show onboards of every car except Mike Husby. That will guarantee us pizza. And he goes on board with my son. I like your style, Mullen.
Trying
5
to
laps
track
to go
young
with
leaders.
leaders.
This is what Connor did in the Associates race, though. He came from deep, methodically worked his way towards the front. Here he is, getting to the inside of Travis Miller, trying to catch Ryan Beagle and leader Nick Sheridan a couple seconds ahead.
Yeah, Sheridan is in his own time zone, 2 seconds out ahead of Beagle, and Beagle's got a second over Ross, and Ross is being hounded by Travis Miller, and he has been pulling out all the stops, has Travis Miller, since his mishap earlier on in the race.
Stand by, it should be 3 laps to go for Nick Sheridan, as we see Ryan Beagle, Connor Ross, Travis Miller still having a good fight for the runner-up spot.
Yeah, Beagle has drifted back, and that surprises me a lot because a slick racetrack is Beagle's wheelhouse.
The way Williams Grove is, this could end up being a battle for the lead, because even though you're checked out front, this is not over till it's over at Williams Grove.
You're right on. The big dog holding off Daddy's money. The reason I like that nickname, Greg, is for the irony. I've always been a fan of irony. Like when you call a fat guy tiny. Final lap, one more time around.
Nick Sheridan, there you see him going under the bridge down the backstretch, closing up on Cameron Kokrick, who runs in the 8th spot. You see the light bulbs flash. Nick Sheridan picks up the win of the Pinty's Pro-Am. Ryan Beagle second, Connor Ross third, and tip of the hat to Travis Miller. He gave it his all on that final corner to get by Ross for the podium. It comes up just short.
He did so. He gave it a good try. Great racing. Our third good feature of the night, and I have a feeling the street stocks also are not going to disappoint.
Already a good field of those in practicing. A number of these drivers will move over there as Nick Sheridan celebrates down on the front stretch here at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway for Friday night I-Xcitement. Shrieking Speedway style as we get set to send it down to Clinton Jeffrey to talk to the top 3 in Safety Clean Victory Lane. Of course, tonight's winner, Nick Sheridan, along with Ryan Beagle in second and Daddy's Money, Connor Ross, in third.
Oh, sometimes they love it, sometimes they hate it. I'm anxious to see how Connor respond to that one. We'll get our top 3 into Safety Clean Victory Lane. We'll get ready to go. I want to thank Pinty's for all their awesome support of us. And they are the big reason we were on national TV most of last season. I want to thank Pinty's for everything they do for us and sports around the world. Victory Lane is ready. Get in there with Nick Sheridan. Nick, we talked to you a few times last year and at the banquet as the Strickland's GMC Crate Sprint Car Champion. You know, you picked up another year. You're getting old now, buddy. How old are you?
I'm 15 years old, Quinn.
Boy, you better slow down before you know it. You're going to be getting gray hair like Adam. But, you know, a great job here tonight. It seems like the iRacing luck finally came in for you. You've had some solid runs. You've had some speed and got it done here tonight against the best of our pros and the best of the associates, which is no easy task.
No, it's definitely not easy. I've had to work a lot at this iRacing thing. I had to become a lot better the last few weeks. I thought I was decent at it before, but then I came running with these guys, and it's just, they're so good at week in, week out, every track. They're really good. It's been a big learning curve for me, and I think I've kind of finally got it. We've got some luck rolling our way. I really hate to see what happened to Travis there. I was hoping we could have had a good run together because I've been looking at his tail tank for a while, and I wanted to see if I could get it.
Are you going to run the straight stock race here next?
No, I'm not going to, Clint. I got a couple of guys working outside in the shop right now. I'm going to go work on the real car, try and get it ready for, see if we can get some racing anytime soon.
Great job, Nick. Congrats on last year's championship. Congrats on your win here tonight. And now you can go tell the boys they got to work a bit harder because they're working on a winner's race car. We'll talk to you soon, Nick.
Thanks, Clint. Appreciate that.
There's Nick Sheridan, the defending crate champion from Ohsweken Speedway, and tonight is the winner of the Pinty's Pro-Am. Second place, Ryan Beagle. Second time we talked to you tonight here, Ryan. Great job. You've been one of the standouts here on the Friday Night I-Xcitement program. Again, on the podium. Solid finish.
Yeah, track was had a little more moisture than I like. When I come here, I had to run the top, which I'm not very good at, but we held on there. Held on for second.
Safe to assume you'll be strapping in the street stock, getting ready to go here.
Yeah, we got it unloaded already.
All right, we'll let you get back to the pits. Ryan Beagle, the big dog here, second in the Pinty's Pro-Am. And our third place on the podium tonight in the car number 35, Connor Ross. And Connor, Greg has called you. Greg, are you there? Go ahead. You can tell him what his new nickname is.
No, I don't want to hear it. I already heard it.
Daddy's Money.
Yeah.
So Connor Ross, daddy's money. We were also talking, Connor, you owe your dad 30% of your winnings as the car owner. So solid drive for you, man. You started deep in the field here, and a great drive up through the pack.
Yeah, thank you. I can't qualify here to save my life, but thankfully I was able to drive up to the field.
Great run here.
And-
We'll talk to you soon. Get in that street stock and get ready to go. All right, I think that's the end for Connor Ross. All right, we'll watch. Hopefully, we'll talk to these guys again in the podium tonight. We've got one more feature event to come, ladies and gentlemen, and it is the Middleport Mechanical Street Stock feature. You can go ahead and advance that, Roger. We'll move right into it. Maybe one more quick commercial break. We'll go split screen. We'll come back with the A feature. But before we do, just want to send a shout out to Fran Bouchard down in the States. Fran is a regular watcher of all things racing and a big supporter of everything we do up here. Fran, great to have you along with us on the broadcast every week. He sent me a note, said great racing, mostly caution tonight. In fact, he said caution-free racing tonight, which is amazing. The guys have been doing a great job. We'll be right back after this break with the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock A main event.
Pinty's Chicken Wings, just like you get at the pub. Official sponsor of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, 8-time Grey Cup champs and kings of Steeltown. Pinty, making great food fun. Introducing GeForce TV. GeForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GeForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GeForce TV racing leagues. GeForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GeForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GeForce TV. Welcome back to Friday Night I-Xcitement from the virtual Williams Grove Speedway for Washougal Speedway. It is feature time for the Middleport Mechanical Street Stock Challenge in just a couple of minutes. Final few drivers taking time for qualifying in this one. Plenty of street stocks on hand in this one. Should see 30-plus cars in the feature here tonight. And going to be another good one for the Street Stock Division. Glad you could join us here on GeForceTV.net and on Facebook Live. Again, make sure you're liking, sharing, giving your thumbs up. And if you're on the YouTube channel right now, make sure you subscribe. Hit that button below. Give a thumbs up. And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit the little ringer bell next to it so that when there is new content live or uploaded to the YouTube channel for GeForce TV, you'll get a notification right to your device so you can tune in to the broadcast. Looks like the race is ready to go. The running order is set for tonight's Middleport Mechanical Street Stock Challenge. Travis Miller will go from the pole in car number 22 to his outside Ian Blanchard in car number 1. Going from third, that's where we'll find Daddy's Money, Connor Ross in the 23. Steve Shaw Jr. will go off fourth in the 21. Mike Schultz, the winner 1 week ago, in car number 8. He'll roll off fifth. Sixth is Dan McLaren.
7th, that'll be Andrew Smith in the 79. David Miller in the 411 goes from 8th. Mike Husby rolls off in position number 9 in car number 60, and Cameron Thompson in the 28 goes 10th. Jim Hoopinen starts in 11th in the 14. Donnie Lampman aboard car 24, he'll go 12th. Steve Goldner in the 33, he starts 13th, and alongside him, Aaron Turkey in car number 18 goes 14th. Anthony Grocott starts 15th. Alongside him, 16th will be DJ Christie. Ryan Beagle, who we just talked to, he finished on the podium in the Pinty's Pro-Am. He starts 17th. Sidney Hess outside of him going from the 18th spot. Greg Boydell starts 19th. And outside of him, Ashton Dickie goes from the 20th spot. Nathan Jackson starts 21st. 22nd is where we find Steve Shaw Sr. Nick Erskine goes 23rd. 24th, Michael Milton. 25th, Cameron Kokrick. 26th, Jason Thompson. 27th, Corey Whittam. 28th, Mike Tuvey. And it looks like that will be the running order, so we will not surpass unless a few of these odds and ends here that did not qualify decide to join. We've got Rob Shaw, Jeff Flero, Don Dolson, Chase Hess are all in the server, did not take time. I see
And
Chase
don't forget,
Hess is disconnected.
Roger
Craig does race this. That is
Yeah.
correct. He did time trial. It timed in the 29th spot. Jeff Flero 30th. So we do have 30 cars for sure. And it looks like Chase Hess is just logged in as well.
Guys, just want to say shout out to all our race crew behind the scenes who get this done. Obviously, Roger, Greg Boydell, Blake Nutley have been doing a great job for us. And we've also got Spencer on the controls for us. Of course, Greg, Adam, and myself are here with you as well. Appreciate you being with us here on a Friday night to fill the void until we can go back to it. And just want to mention, if you're looking to get in any racing outside of what we're doing, look up GeForce Racing Leagues on Facebook. They've got all kinds of leagues for all kinds of different levels of expertise, and they'd love to have you out there on the dirt. Greg, here we go with the A-Main.
Always a good one when the street stocks take to the track. We haven't had a bad feature yet. And I'd have to go back and look. Have we had any repeat winners in the street stocks yet, guys?
Did Mike Schultz win twice?
I don't recall.
He may have, but
When you've got a terrible memory, Greg, it's always a me.
Last week, of course, was Mike Schultz.
I was going to say we need a calculator bat symbol that we can shine up in the air, and Dusty or Tommy will come to the rescue to fix us up with the stats we need immediately.
Save us.
When idiots collide.
Save us, stats, man.
Yeah. Dusty and Tommy are not the idiots. Curly, Larry, and Mo are the three of us on this broadcast, just to be clear.
Do you think the drivers would be insulted if I titled that as our drivers' meeting, When Idiots Collide?
Wow.
A tale of two races. Here we go.
Final race of the night, Middleport Mechanical Street Stock feature event. They'll head down into quarter number 1 with Travis Miller, Ian Blanchard, door to door.
Big sweeping corners for street stocks just makes for great fun. Travis Miller leads the way down the back straightaway. Blanchard into second. Looks like we got some kerfuffles on the back straightaway, but most of the drivers seem to be getting through it.
As you mentioned last week, Adam, of course, only 20 cars being displayed at a time to keep the video quality as high as possible. There are more cars on the track, but not all being displayed on screen.
Wow, second and third just bouncing off each other all the way through turn 2. That allowed someone to sneak through. That was Mike Schultz that snuck through for second spot. I think that was Connor Ross and maybe Steve Shaw that were just pounding on each other off at turn 2.
Good battle for the third spot. That's where we find Dan McLaren and Connor Ross going door to door down the back stretch, and some carnage back off of the exit of corner 2. You can see all kinds of cars going sideways.
Yeah, you can see one limping into the pits right there. So cars disappearing off the track. There's a big flume of dirt being shot into the air up in turn 3. You can see in the background.
It's Travis Miller out in front, trying to get around some carnage on the front stretch. As he races it down the front straightaway. 5 laps on the board, 20 to go.
Let's not forget the director's curse out in front. We ride on board with Travis Miller. This was when calamity happened in his feature event earlier tonight, but things seem to be going smoothly for him right now as he saws on the wheel between 3 and 4.
Works it down the front straightaway with just over half a second advantage over second place Mike Schultz, last week's winner. See the gap there down below the onboard telemetry. There's Mike Schultz now, his telemetry showing up.
I can't tell if Schultz is closing in or not, so we're going to use the electronic timing. It was 0.8 of a second last lap. This lap as they go through the stripe. Now he picked up almost 1/10 of a second that lap. But the nice thing about running second, Greg, is you decide what the leader is doing and just find out ways you can pick away and run their line just a hair better than they do because you have them as a guinea pig.
Yeah, that's racing for you, and that's the one downside of being the leader. You don't have that advantage of trying to see what other guys are doing that are at least running competitively. You can see what the lap cars are doing, but probably not going to help you too much. But for Travis Miller, you don't know where that edge is, and right now Mike Schultz is doing a nice job. He closes the gap just a little bit every single lap, and Connor Ross is doing the exact same thing. He's right there in behind. As they race down into corner 1, here's the battle for the lead. Mike Schultz gets by Miller.
Yeah, Miller had a problem there in 3 and 4. This might be a big break for Travis Miller with Schultz getting the advantage. They're going to rub door panels down the back straightaway as they close in on DJ Christie into turn 3. Christie up into the outside wall.
So now Mike Schultz on the top. Last week's winner who had that miraculous billiard shot down in corner 3, bumped the car in front of him. That sent that car into Ryan Beagle, sent him up the track, and Mike shot by for the win.
Now we'll see if Travis Miller can do what Schultz was doing, but I think Miller actually just lost the second spot off of turn 2. No, I must have been looking at another yellow race car.
In fact, he's closed the gap a little bit on Schultz. Is Schultz trying to get by some of this lap traffic? Connor Ross, Dan McLaren, Ian Blanchard are all still right there in the top 5. Donnie Lampman not far off either. Andrew Smith having a good run up in 7th.
Andrew Smith has been with us most weeks, if I remember correctly. Good to see him out there having a good run as we got some contact there. We ride on board with Donnie Lampman in the 6th position, right behind Dan McLaren.
Halfway home in this one now. 12 laps left to go. Schultz your leader by half a second over Travis Miller. Connor Ross running in 3rd. Dan McLaren and Donnie Lampman your top 5. Ian Blanchard, Andrew Smith, Steve Shaw Jr., Steve Goldner, and Cameron Thompson up there in the 10th position right now. 19 cars still on the lead lap.
Contact for the lead. Travis Miller to the inside, and that's impressive, that many cars on the lead lap. Miller to the inside of Schultz. They rub door panels through the corner. That allows Connor Ross to close in. Now it's going to be a 3-car battle for the lead.
Yeah, Connor Ross right there. You're watching the top 2 going at it. And every lap it draws him just that little bit closer as they work it off of corner 4. This time by, trouble in front of the leaders. Schultz. Nice save.
Nice job by all of the leaders to squirt through there.
Connor Ross ends up with the lead. Daddy's money's been nothing but gold tonight.
Works it through turn number 4. Miller and Schultz still side by side. It was for the lead. Now it's for 2nd after that issue last lap, but we still got 10 laps of racing to settle the score in this one.
Connor Ross just sent a message back to the crew, said tell the car owner he could have 90% of the payout tonight.
Oh! Maybe he should worry about driving.
Just like
Racing.
that, Adam's 90% of nothing went down the drain.
Racing giveth and racing taketh away. And
Well, he's
Schultz
gonna
and Miller are still duking it up for position,
Yep.
and once again they're in the race for the lead.
And now you got to pay for a new right front fender on that 23 machine, Adam. It's
Hey,
gone.
listen, I gladly pay for the tires and body work on these iRace cars.
Schultz and Miller, they put on a great race, and there's been a couple of times where it looked like they were both going to crash. And here they are, still at the front, cutting through the traffic. Yeah, let's watch this. This is where it all starts. Oh, this is where Connor gets into the lap car. I thought that was the previous incident. Connor's still holding on to third, though.
This is, I think, the cleanest street stock race that we've seen this season, though. I mean, the fast cars that were at the front pretty much remain at the front.
I think the long
They've all had
straightaways
their-
certainly help that out, right? Because they can, you can get a lot of guys. You can still be really slow, and it takes a long time to get overtaken by the leaders.
Yeah, that could be it. Schultz working a higher line on the racetrack. Travis Miller still digging for grip down on the bottom. Two of them still within a few car lengths of each other as they battle down into turns 1 and 2. And it surprises me that Schultz is running that low on the track. If you're going to run the outside, you usually run right up to the cushion, but Schultz is doing a great job of it. A car width below the cushion.
Miller gets tied up. There was some contact, not hard, I don't believe, but that really hurt his chances. Now Connor Ross is clear and into the second spot.
They're still wrecking for third and fourth. Miller and Dan McLaren, I believe, were swapping some paint after getting mixed up with a lap car. So that's where the battle is right now, that battle for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and they are all right there.
If anything that we've learned in the first 6 weeks comes true here, it's that these races are never over till the final corner. The leader is never safe.
No, and I would still keep shooting after that because we had to shoot for a while to see where Steve Shaw was going to land a few weeks ago.
Riding there, watching Dan McLaren, Travis Miller, Andrew Smith, Steve Golden are all there. One goes
Dan
around, that's
McLaren
Dan
gets-
McLaren.
Yeah, he got turned around big time there.
Still
Andrew
12
Smith
cars
up
left in the
fourth.
lead lap.
Ooh, a little bit more crashing back there, deeper in the field.
Mike Schultz out in front, Connor Ross second. He's less than a second behind. He can see him. Does he have enough time to catch him? The gap closes.
1 and 2 is where he was a little bit better in that last race, if you remember. He got a good run up off of turn 2, 3 and 4. If he can close in here, he's got a shot. But Schultz still running that same line he's been running with great success. Gets a good run off of 4 as we approach the final lap.
Schultz leads down into 1 and 2. There's Connor Ross in the second spot looking for the win. You can hear some carnage ahead of them, but the leaders will skip by. 2 more corners to go. Last week's winner trying to double up here. Oh, similar
right in front of the
situation.
leaders.
How about that?
Oh, no. Oh,
Daddy's money crosses the line and gets the win.
oh, heartbreaker Mike Schultz. He did not deserve that fate.
And Schultz
And he-
gives him a couple of bumps.
Yeah, he tees up the 23. I don't blame him. Oh, he's launched another one.
Wow. We're going to have to watch the replay on that one. That was a wild finish. I told you,
Here
it
comes-
doesn't get settled to the final corner.
Here comes Dan McLaren looking as though he's got some business to tend to, but I think he might just park himself there in the corner. Now, he might not be done. So we'll watch again. Schultz leads the way down into 3 and 4. And when 2 or 3 cars get together, that's when it's really not your advantage to be the leader.
Every week, there just happens to be cars spinning right in front of the leader in the final corner. As we got some bumper tag going on down at Safety Clean Victory Lane. Clint, stay safe down there.
Yeah, I'll stay on the infield as these guys try and get parked and finish their Victory Lane celebrations. Once again, want to thank to everybody who gets this together for us and everybody for watching here. We'll jump down to Safe Clean Victory Lane as you see what the leaders saw coming down. This is Schultz at that last lap. He's trying to pick his way through, and Connor squirts by beautifully there to grab the win, and what a great job that was. And you got to give them credit. They raced hard and clean for the full pull tonight. So thank you guys
Well, they
for
raced
everybody.
hard. They raced hard. I'm not sure if they raced hard and clean, but they raced hard.
No, but I mean, for the street stock carnage that we normally see, it was good, solid racing tonight. Let's jump in and talk to our top three. Connor and Travis Miller have joined us. We're working on getting a hold of Mike Schultz. Connor, solid drive there, man. It was patience, paid off. You had to make sure you stuck with it till the end. Without your right front fender, got in a couple jingles, led it a couple different times. But at the end there, you squirt through Schultz to grab it at the finish.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep my nose clean this whole time. I knew Travis had a rocket of a car, same with Mike. I knew Mike was hungry for a win. So I was just trying to keep my nose clean, trying to guide my way through traffic. And then that last corner there, I was like, I'll settle for second, and 2 cars wrecked on the inside. I'm like, I got to give it the gas. And then slid up in front of Mike, and then I realized that I was leading. Coming to the line, I was, holy crap.
Well, great job. I think the nickname's got to stick because as soon as Greg gave it to you, you finished on the podium in all 3 of the races you were eligible for tonight. Congrats, man, and good drive.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully Dad gives me some more money now.
Daddy's money, he has to. So if you stick to the nickname, Daddy's got to pay. All right? And moving on to second place, Mike Schultz. Mike, great drive here tonight. You know, you and Connor seesawed back and forth. You were the car to beat. At one point, it was you going back and forth with Travis. Tell us about your evening in the street stocks.
Hey, that was a lot of fun. Kudos to Connor, and my condolences to the entire Ross family. And Connor ran a race. I knew that I had to try to stay ahead of him. He's been fast all night long, so I knew it was my race to lose, and I guess I gave it up there at the end, but he made one heck of a move.
Well, there was a couple times there where your lap cars just caused you a lot of problems, and you managed to hang on for a podium. Congrats.
I appreciate it. Yeah, but that's the fun part of the street stock deal. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to you guys, the broadcast, and keep.
There he is, number 8, Mike Schultz, second place in the Middleport Canonical Thunderstock feature tonight. And third place tonight in the 22, Travis Miller. Travis, second podium for you tonight. That's not bad. You know, obviously you'd like to be another step up. You finished second in ours here and third in the street stocks, but great drive tonight. You got to be pretty happy with how your evening came together here at Williams Grove.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Was just hoping to stay clean that race. I was kind of pulling away a little bit, and then lap cars get the best of you. And then I saw Connor behind me, and I can't believe how much luck Connor has. Holy crap, that's crazy.
Neither can Daddy. Great job tonight, Travis. Thanks for racing with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for putting this on. It's awesome.
All right, want to remind all our drivers we're going to Lanier next week, so make sure you get it together. Mike Schultz was the G-Force late model champ. Want to send out a congratulations to him. And as we mentioned earlier, if you want to get any of these races, you can also join the G-Force Racing League. For whatever your level of expertise is on iRacing, they've got some racing for you. Well, guys, some amazing racing tonight. I thought this was one of the best deals we had. We're about 11 minutes over our target time, so I'm going to vote for shaving maybe 5 more laps off a couple of those features, and we can probably hit the tee time of 9:30, which is a good, solid 2-hour program. And you look at what we crammed in there in 2 hours, guys. We put a lot of racing in. Adam?
Run the same distance next week at a much shorter track. I think we'll hit that 9:30 mark.
Yeah,
don't
I thought
shorten
the
the
action was
laps
good
for Lanier. Yeah, it's a tiny place. The drivers had time and they had fun. That was a really good show. I think we do the same format at Lanier, the same number of laps. We trim that time down just by virtue of the track being shorter.
I can live with that. Greg, take us home.
Yeah, I agree. I think tonight was some excellent racing from a track that we weren't sure what to expect from, and it was good just like it was last week. But the main thing is the drivers are getting better and better, not just the best drivers, but those guys that just got to start in this are improving every week, and that's why the shows are going quicker, the racing's getting better. So tip of the cap to everyone that puts in the hours all week to practice and be a part of this every Friday night. We thank you for being a part of that because we couldn't do it without you. So we do thank you for that. And what else can I say? A star was born tonight. Congratulations, Connor, and my condolences to the Ross family for what I'm sure was a tough week, but good to see that we could have some laughs tonight, and that's the main thing. So that'll wrap things up from here at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway. For Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, my name's Greg Kellman saying so long and stay tuned for the features from June 7th of 2019. Go with the feature event for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division.
You know what else is brilliant about the hot rods? He doesn't need a full field of cars. Even when there's 11 cars, it's 11 really neat cars to look at. So as it grows, it's going to get there because it's really building steam. It's like watching a snowball.
Yep, it's an attraction as much as it is a race weekend. So tip of the cap to Oscar and all that they do. Starting lineup for this 20-lap main event going from the pole in the radio shuttle. Car number 74 from Rockwood, it's Rob Neely. And from the outside of the front row, the Club 54 Racing number 28, it'll be Jordan Hill. Going from spot number 3, the Burger Barn, Ace 1 Construction number 56. From Hamilton, Derek Lemarin. Going from 4th, our Nathan Ackland Top Gun Award winner. In the Enrium, number 88 is Jesse McDonald from Caledonia. Starting at 5th from Binbrook, it's Liam Martin. In the Chaston Brothers Float Services, number 29. And going from 6th from Port Colborne in the Coldwell Banker, number 5D, Jacob Dykstra. Starting in the 7th spot in the First Choice Haircutters, 08 from Font Hill, that is Stephen Beckett. And starting 8th, last week's winner from St. Thomas, the best safety training car, number 52, Jesse Costa. Going from 9th from Burford in the Ohsweken Speedway car number 12, that will be Brad Heron. And his outside in the Massage Pro, number 49L from Brantford, it's Lucas Smith. Starting 11th in the Schneider Electric car number 1A, that is Paul Klager from Beamsville, the Beamsville Bullet. And going from 12th in the Pride Seeds car number 45 from Mount Bridges, that is Nick Sheridan. Starting in the 13th spot in the DeGroot Hill Chevrolet, car number 5 Star, that will be DJ Christie. DJ Christie out of Beachville in the 5 Star. Going from the 14th spot from Ohsweken, the Canada Fuels number 9C is Brian Nanakoke. Starting in the 15th spot in the Hallett Home Improvements, car number 51 from Ancaster, Trevor Young. And his counterpart on that row, starting from Hagersville, Ontario, the 49H in the 16th starting spot, the original Traders Energy Bickles, car number 49, that is Jerry Hill, the 49H of Jerry Hill. Starting 17th out of Vanessa in the Oakwood Transport, car number 4, the Hurricane, Hannah Farrell. And starting at 18th from Niagara Falls in the Pro Battery Shops, number 70, Bailey Hurd. Going from 19th, he won his B main from Kitchener, car number 39 is Shane Stickle. And going from 20th out of Ancaster, the 26X of Terry Baker. Starting 21st from Kitchener, the 50LS, is Adrian Staley. And going 22nd from Freelton, and car number 43, that'll be Darren Dryden. That is your starting lineup for tonight's 20-lap main event for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division.
Has it always just been a 22-car starting field, Greg?
I didn't think so, but
I thought there should be 24 cars. I'm sure of it, because 4 heats, 5 qualify, and then 2 out of each B main. You're right, that's all that shows up on your list.
I do see Blaine Barrow out there.
And something went on in the pits because a lot of drivers missed the call for this race. This is an unusual number of pace laps, but we're giving drivers a chance to show up. So I'm pretty sure it'll be communicated to them next week. Look, when you're told to be ready to go, you best be ready to go.
Rick Scott pacing the field in that beautiful Strickland GMC pace truck. You could walk away with that at the end of the year, by heading over to Strickland's. I know someone walked in, bought last year's Pace truck, and is proudly driving it right now.
We are one car short of a full field at the moment. Anyone's guess as to who it is?
Blaine Barrow will join the field. He's in the Rich's Drywall number 3B. And there's one more car. Looks like they're getting a push way back there. Thank you. It's Caleb Wood in the 7. Thanks, Dave Stiers. Good work up on the tower to get zoomed in there.
Well, guys, 2 cars coming your way, actually. Josh Hill in the 69 coming out now, and Caleb Wood. There was a bit of a scoring controversy in the back. We'll talk about it a bit later.
Yeah, Caleb Wood was listed in a B main, but I was sure he qualified in his heat.
Well, here's the long and short of it. Caleb Wood, transponder, did not show up, which means he was not scored in his official qualifying position where he finished on the speedway, Doug. Doug told them that pretty much week in and week out, if you don't have a transponder, the track does not have to score you. They put him in. They put him in behind Josh Hill. Josh Hill said he finished ahead of me. They didn't check the lineup until after the B main, which means they both missed their B main. At which point, I got cornered in the pits. We had a discussion. Josh Hill said, no, he did finish ahead of me. So they decided they would put one in, and Baker going to pull off, and that'll make our 24, guys.
Now, Baker pulling off is a coincidence, I'm guessing, Clint. I don't think he's thinking that he didn't want to be the 25th starter. But
no, I'm sure Baker's got issues on his car, but just to explain what went on there, possibly a bit of a issue with communication, so they will both get the spots. Baker will pull off, though, with problems here. We get set to go. 20 laps in the A feature for the Stricklands. Brantford Chevrolet feature.
This racetrack is not going to be vastly different from what they qualified on, Greg, because it was dry and slick earlier. It's dry and slick now. I think it's a matter of who finds the smoothest line and who's able to run their line.
Yep, what you see is what you get tonight here in the Big O, and we are ready to go. Double greens in the air for the first time tonight. Our first feature of the night is underway, and Rob Neely will send the pack into corner 1.
Neely right down on the bottom hill in the middle groove in that 28. He'll take the advantage down the backstretch.
Neely on the bottom, Jordan Hill on the outside. Hill's got a great run off of corner 4, and he is going to come across the stripe to lead lap number 1 with Neely in tow and Jesse McDonald, the Top Gun Award winner, right there in 3rd.
Clean opening lap. Jacob Dykstra up into 4th with some clear racetrack. And wow, did Liam Martin ever get a good run through 1 and 2.
This kid is on fire this year, and I'm not talking like he was last year when he was literally on fire. He is hot this year and has got things hooked up. Finished 1st in week 1, 2nd in week 2. Let's see what he can do tonight. He's up there fighting amongst the top 10.
Really getting a big drive through turn number 2 down the back straightaway. I'm not sure if it's as pronounced in 3 and 4, but definitely has something in 1 and 2.
DJ Christie overcooks corner number 4, gets gathered back up and back into the playing surface, and now Rob Neely takes it into the infield as the left front appears to be broken on the radio shuttle number 74. And trouble for Caleb Wood and DJ Christie on the backstretch. Caleb Wood, I don't think he can control the car. It's coasting down to the inside in corner number 3, and the caution flag will fly. I missed that completely as I was watching Rob Neely pull into the infield, but DJ Christie and Caleb Wood slowed on the backstretch, and Caleb Wood looked to have lost control in the front end of the car. And as we look on our monitors here, we can see the front end all askew for Caleb Wood.
Clinton Jeffrey on his way over to that 7 machine to have a look. He's going to need a lift on the front end of that 7 car for sure.
Yeah, Caleb Wood sits dejected in this beautiful Pinewood Horticultural number 7. He has taken out the front end of the car, and he will need a hook here from our white tow truck getting down here to get him picked up. But yes, problems for Wood in this one, and he's going to need the hook to get out of here, guys. Also problems with DJ Christie up on the outside. We're hearing issues with the number 5 as well in turn 4.
And Clayton Johns telling us that Rob Neely clipped the inside wall with the left front of that number 74, and that's what caused him to have his problems and head into the infield. So an eventful early portion of this race. But how about Jordan Hill in that 28 leading the way?
Former driver for the Glenn's Tires racing team, and last year picked up this machine and has been good ever since. I want to say that's the former Holly Porter number 1. Someone can correct me if that is wrong, but I think that is the original Holly Porter crate sprint car that Jordan Hill is driving. That may be totally off base. I've already had my victory tonight, Adam.
Yeah, I was trying to weave that into the story somehow, but it's better that you did.
But yeah, Jordan Hill's been just great since jumping into this car, and obviously he has the experience. We're going to see a replay on Rob Neely down in corner 1. Yep, good call. Clayton Johns breaks the left front, and then I was hoping we'd be able to see the other action. 2 hits there for Rob Neely as the left front sent him back into the turn 2 wall.
They're going to send the flatbed over for Neely as Caleb Wood taking a long ride back to the pits. And DJ Christie, is he being picked up, or are they going to push that car away, Clint?
Now DJ Christie has a rear end that has dropped. Looks like one of the torsion stops has let go. Well, DJ called me over and said, hey, can you say over the microphone what flat tire I have so my crew can get it ready? But he's got a collapsed rear end in that car, Adam. All the tires are still up for DJ Christie. So it is more than just a flat tire for Christie. They've got some with a torsion stop, and one of the torsion arms have maybe skipped a tooth and let the back end sink down. So it's not going to be a 2-minute fix, I don't think, for Christie.
Well, the nice thing is they're towing him back in the most efficient way possible, pulling him through the entrance of the track in turn 3. So that'll get him to the work area in quite a hurry. But like you say, Clinton, that's probably too much work for them to be able to do in 2 minutes time.
A couple of birthday shout outs. One to Austin Westbrook, June 12th, 10 years old. Happy birthday, Austin Westbrook. And Rhonda, who's rolling on the river tonight, says, please wish Danielle Schaefer a happy 15th birthday. So, happy birthday. Gary Collings' birthday on Wednesday.
He's lying.
Tuesday. See, he doesn't even know what day it is. He's lying. And I'm 2 for 2 tonight. Social media is great because they'll tell you if you're right or you're wrong. But that is Holly Porter's former number 1. Jeff Durnan, Blake Nutley also letting me know.
Yeah, we've got our own fact checkers. And the reason I know that is because I am wrong so frequently that I get a lot of messages.
Well, I opened up the birthday floodgate. Lucas Smith's dad's birthday is today, says Jeff Durnan. And Kevin Thorne's birthday from the mini stocks, number 360. His is tomorrow, says Mike Thorne.
Rob Neely's on the 17th.
Mine's July 27th, if anyone's wondering. We're getting there. I like gold or bills or ice cream. Reverse that order, and that's basically it. Ice cream.
Oh, dear. So we're still under yellow, which leads me to believe somebody is requesting their 2-minute work area time. Unless they're keeping it yellow to get Rob Neely's car out of the infield.
Well, I think it was they were holding on for the Christie 5, and the Christie just came over the radio and said the 5 is done. So that will be it here for the 2-minute work area. They're going to bring him to white and get ready to go.
Well, they've got a flat deck that's going to leave the infield, but he should have plenty of time to get up off the racing surface. If not, it's got flashing yellow lights on it. Surely the drivers will see it and race around it.
So the white flag display, Jordan Hill will bring us back to the green flag with our Nathan Ackland Top Gun Award winner, Jesse McDonald, right there in tow in second. Third right now, Jacob Dykstra in the 5D. And last week's winner, Jesse Costa, sitting back there in the 4th slot. in car number 52. Then it's Derek Lemaire, solid run in the top 5. Nick Sheridan up there in 6th, and the point leader, Liam Martin, back there in 7th, 8th. Stephen Beckett, 9th is Paul Klager, 10th, Brad Herron.
Slow pace being set by Jordan Hill in that 28 machine. Jesse McDonald right on his rear tail. They battle down into 1 and 2. Jesse McDonald to the inside. Jesse Costa up to the outside with a big old head of steam.
Off of corner number 3 there, Costa got just a little high there. Has to wheel it back up on Jacob Dykstra as they go side by side down into corner number 1.
Bailey Hurt gets a little bit high there in turn 4. He's able to gather it in, get back where he wants to be. As Jordan Hill leads the way by about 4 car lengths over Jesse McDonald, running in that 3rd spot. It's a great battle between Jacob Dykstra, Jesse Costa, Derek Lemaire in there as well, with Nick Sheridan trying to hold off Liam Martin for 6th.
Jordan Hill sails it down into corner number 3 with Jesse McDonald right there in his tire tracks, and then you've got that number 5, Jacob Dykstra running a smart race solidly there in 3rd. Lemaire, Costa, your top 5, and here comes Liam Martin, chisels away again. He's up to the 6th spot.
And Costa must have missed the mark on that last lap because he just dropped a lot of ground. He had been battling with Jacob Dykstra. Now Dykstra all by himself up there. Well, not all by himself. He's with Jesse McDonald, but he's in a new battle. This time the battle for 2nd.
And if you're watching at home online, pay no attention to that 2nd, 4th place car, the 49. That's an anomaly we're dealing with right now, but nonetheless, Jesse Costa, the 5th place car behind Derek Lemaire.
Man, oh man, Brad Herron, Bailey Hurd, and Lucas Smith having a fantastic battle on the racetrack. That's a battle, I believe, for 9th, 10th, and 11th. Lucas Smith up high, Bailey Hurd in the middle, Brad Herron down low, but at the front, it is all Jordan Hill having a great run in that 28.
Yeah, Jordan Hill making it look easy in car number 28, the Club 54 racing ride. Jesse McDonald solidly right now in 2nd, and after the way things went for him the first couple of weeks, this is a really good run for Jesse to get back into the groove of things.
Still, I think the best battle on the track is Bailey Hurd, Lucas Smith, and Brad Herron. They are all 3 going at it. They keep swapping lanes, switching lines. They're closing in on Stephen Beckett to make it a battle for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th as Jesse Costa and Liam Martin had a close call there in turn 2.
Yeah, good battle going on right now between Costa and Martin, and these two very well. At the end of the year, it could be duking it out for a championship.
You're absolutely right, Greg. Lucas Smith has dropped back from that battle between Brad Herron and Bailey Hurd. Paul Klager in the 1A trying to close in on that as Jordan Hill encountering lap traffic. Let's see how he's able to navigate here coming off of turn number 2.
Down the backstretch goes Jordan Hill to the outside of Josh Hill in corner number 3 as they go through 4 now. Heavy lap traffic for the leader. For Jordan Hill, he's got plenty of laps around this track, not just in the Crate Sprint Car division, but also having done track prep for a number of years, and here he is. Believe it or not, in all those laps, he does not yet have a win in the Crate Sprint Car division, looking for his first tonight.
Well, he's looking pretty good right now as laps wind down. 5 laps to go for Jordan Hill as he leads by half a straightaway over Jesse McDonald.
McDonald now buried in behind Josh Hill and Adrian Staley, and he's got Jacob Dykstra chasing him down for the runner-up spot. Jacob Dykstra dives down low in corner number 3. He'll grab the 2nd spot, but McDonald fighting back around the outside of him.
Fantastic battle. McDonald almost looked like he wanted to cross over Dykstra. Then he thought better of it, stayed on the outside and got a better run off of turn 4 than he would have anyhow. And the battle continues as Jordan Hill gets a little squirrely into turn 3, trying to get around Trevor Young in the 51 to put him a lap down.
And Adam, how about Nick Sheridan? This youngster, you would think he drives a sprint car to look at him, but he's up there in the top 5, and he's gotten by a hot shoe like Jesse Costa and the most hottest driver right now, Liam Martin.
Doing a great job. He's got to be excited as 2 laps to go for Jordan Hill, McDonald, Dykstra, Lemaire, and now Sheridan battle it out for 2nd through 5th.
Here comes Dykstra back down low on Jesse McDonald, working down the backstretch with the leader Jordan Hill checking out on the field. He's got a bit of gap between he and 2nd place as that fight continues on. White flag is out. McDonald, Dykstra, Lemaire, and Sheridan all fighting for second.
Remember, Jordan Hill has no way of knowing how big his advantage is as he's trying to get around Blaine Barrow. Jordan Hill one more time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. Victory number 1 for Jordan Hill.
Jesse McDonald will grab second, third Jacob Dykstra, fourth Derek Lemaire, and an impressive run by the rookie. Nick Sheridan comes home in fifth. Sixth will be Jesse Costa. Seventh will be Liam Martin. Eighth, I believe, at the line will be Bailey Hurd. Then ninth, Stephen Beckett. And 10th, Brian Nanico.
Really good feature race for that Strickland's GMC Crate Sprint division.
Look throughout the top 10, Adam, and we got a whole lot of new faces up there. Some really solid runs, obviously. Jordan Hill, his first career win. You look at Nick Sheridan, top 5 for him. Bailey Hurd right up there in 8th. And Brian Nanico comes home in 10th. He's really got things going as well in that Canada Fuels 9C. So impressive. Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car feature event.
Jordan Hill just drove by victory lane. Someone needs to remind him, hey, we need you on the front stretch.
Spent time as the main man doing the track prep here at the Speedway. Drove for Steyer's Racing for a time aboard car number 99. And now, since purchasing this former Holly Porter ride, Jordan Hill is going to Mr. Transmission. Victory lane in the Club 54 Racing number 28. Lone Wolf fireworks lighting up the sky to celebrate the first win ever for Jordan Hill. Jacob Dykstra on the pad as he'll come home third behind Jesse McDonald.
Look at the crew run in to celebrate with Jordan Hill. Nothing like a first-time winner, and Clinton Jeffrey is down in victory lane to greet him. I think that was Jesse McDonald that just ran over there to give him some congratulations as well. Helmet still on.
Well, the entire Club 54 racing team down here. Jordan Hill had a ride a couple years ago. Came out of the Packer trucks directly into a crate sprint. Never drove a race car until 3 summers ago. Found himself out of a ride. Jen and Coop from Club 54 put him back in a ride. And here he comes. How about it for your first time ever feature winner, Jordan Hill? Jordan, what a run for you here tonight. You've been doing this a while, but not very long in the grand scheme of things. Spent a lot of time turning laps around the pad and the track here as the worker, getting the track running. But tonight, man, you got it done. You've been fast, just got out front. Talk about what it means to be a winner finally here at Ohsweken Speedway.
To be honest, I didn't think it was going to come this quick. I thought I was going to be waiting a few more years so I got a feature win. But everything just came together tonight. I got to thank my guys for working on the car. We set it up perfectly. It did nothing but drive the whole time. Oh, what an amazing feeling.
I know you got a lot of people who you want to thank, Jordan, but talk about the two that believed in you most, Jen and Coop, and what they've done for you here.
Oh, it's amazing that they put me back in the car again, and I couldn't be happier to be out here every night and running with the EST. It's just a childhood dream come true.
You got it done tonight, Jordan. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How about for Jordan Hill, ladies and gentlemen, grabs his first feature whenever. We'll get over here and have a word with Jesse McDonald. Jesse, solid run for you. We see you limping a bit. What's the story there, man?
I hurt my foot during the week. Got some problems with it, and it's sore right now.
We talked a bit about on your Top Gun that you're up and down a little bit this year. Still a solid run to finish second here to Jordan.
Man, to lose to Big Haas, I'll take it, man. I was, so happy for Jordan. For never racing anything before, the kid's doing awesome. I had nothing for him.
Solid run for Jesse McDonald here in the NREM 88. We'll get over here and get a word with Jacob Dykstra in just a moment.
I think Jesse McDonald needs a hair care sponsor. That was some phenomenal hair in Victory Lane. If you get a chance to look at the broadcast, from the stands you probably can't see it, but I didn't think there was a light socket in Victory Lane, but it looks like he stuck his finger in it.
Well, we got Jacob Dykstra here. Jake, not obviously where you want to be, a couple steps further would where you be preferring to be tonight, but still solid run anytime you finish on the front straightaway will certainly help you in your title chase this year.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough race. I tried everything. I tried the bottom, I tried the top, I tried the middle. I just had nothing for the leader. I'd rather win. We don't come here to finish third, but as much as I can do.
All right, hear it from our top three. How about it for Jordan Hill, Jesse McDonald, and Jacob Dykstra getting it done here tonight?
You got a thumbs up for it, too.
You've made me cry, Adam Ross. Wow.
He makes me cry all the time.
That's some color commentary right there.
I observe and report. It's what I do. We're storytellers, Greg.
Good.
Oh, the officials are upset because we're laughing. Look at them all looking.
There hasn't been a laugh on that side of the room since last season.
Doug Leonard, it would break his face if he cracked a smile.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
For bringing us tonight's action here at Ohsweken Speedway. Greg Kellman along with Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey down trackside as we get ready for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks and their 15-lap feature event. HRW Automotive Mini Stocks firing off from corner number 4, ready to go with their feature event. Starting from the pole, the PAL Insurance Thompson Landscape number 10, Zach Buckwald alongside in the Springer Meat seat 11. That'll be Jeff Ilslager. Going from third, it's Martin Schroeder in the 60, and to his outside in the Rona of Welland and Fort Erie 7C, Cole Hardy. Starting in the 5th position, car number 26 will be Tim Newell, and to his outside in the Minuteman Press 05, that is Dave Goodacre. Starting 7th in the Burger Barn, East Wind Construction 360, that is Caledonia's Kevin Thorne, and going from 8th in the Cal Tire number 69, Rob Twitchett of Dundas. Going 9th from Hamilton, Brian Crosgrove. Brian Crosgrove in the number 96, sponsored by R&B Sprinklers. And going from the 10th spot from Brantford, the 6th, that'll be Jason Dixon. Jason Dixon in the Broker Link, number 6. Starting 11th, that'll be Ryan Hiller. Ryan Hiller, the impressive rookie driver out of New Hamburg, Ontario. And going 12th, it's Mike Serentakos in the Lampman Salvage 6X, Mike out of Smithville. Starting 13th in the Tim Sonato, number 23, Dusty DeBoer from Hagersville. And going 14th in the Kubota Oliveri Construction, car number 16, that will be Fabio Oliveri. Starting 15th from Hamilton, Mike Taylor in car number 17, and going from 16th out of Waterford, the 46 machine will be Wade Thorne. Starting 17th in the Eccles Auto Repair number 19, that'll be Kyle Wirt from Ancaster. And alongside him in the 18th starting spot from Dundas, the 21, that will be Jonathan Ayrton. Starting 19th, Tim DeBoer in the Tim Sonato number 9 from York, Ontario, and to his outside from Fenwick, the 222, that's Nick Massey. 21st starting spot will go to Bobby Tolton from Rockwood in the Amsoil Ride. Number 13, Tim Jamieson goes 22nd from Ohsweken. Jeremy May starts 23rd in the 16J. He's out of Hagersville. And starting in 24th position from Waterdown, Jibs Action Sports, Let's Landscape 01, Tristan De Silva. At your field for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks third feature of the season. 15 laps the distance for the four-cylinder division with Zach Buchwald starting from the pole alongside Jeff Ilslager.
20 laps.
It's normally 15, and that's what it says on the schedule, but we'll see what they decide. Green flag is in the air. Spencer says it's 15 on the scoreboard. So, oh, they're stacking up on the backstretch as Cole Hardy's lost power. Rob Twitchett stuck behind him and still can't clear.
He was committed. He was committed to that line, so he gave Cole Hardy a bit of a push, and then he just couldn't do it anymore. Peels off down into turn 3.
Martin Schroeder out in front now. Jeff Ilslager, the outside of the front row, is where he started, but he's headed to the pits. And now Brian Crosgrove goes around in front of a few different cars.
You don't realize how fast the mini stocks are going until you see one at a dead stop while the others are racing on by.
And the caution flag will come out as Brian Crosgrove needs to get the 96 machine looped back around.
Man, oh man. Doesn't look to be damaged to anything but Brian Crosgrove's feelings. It looked like he was looking out the window and shaking his fist at something there down the back stretch.
We lost Jeff Ilslager. Rob Twitchett lost a ton of track position, and Tim DeBoer is about to lose his back bumper in the 9 as it's flapping in the breeze.
See, if Thorne was a good sport, he'd run it over for DeBoer. No, that wouldn't make him a good sport, but DeBoer would appreciate it. Let's have a look at the replay here. Crosgrove right up at the front gets turned sideways, and thankfully he got the car. It was spun around, but the car was pointed straight instead of being broadside to the racetrack. Clinton Jeffrey, what do you got?
Well, when Crosgrove was backwards on the back straightaway, Doug Leonard was on the radio letting the other officials know, I got him, and he's watching. And the minute Doug threw on the yellow, he put it in gear and drove it away. So around here, that's intentionally causing yellow. You're supposed to get moving and pull in as fast as you can, and hopefully you get a yellow. But by waiting for the yellow, you got yourself parked.
He's the sheriff. You don't mess with the sheriff.
You know, Adam, the veterans out here have to sell it a little bit better. It's not hard to win that battle. You just wait till a tow truck comes up, gives you a little push, and miraculously your car drives away. You'll get away with it every time. I'm shocked by the veterans who can't play the game that needs to be played to not get in trouble.
You're absolutely right.
Harold Perry on our comments of our Facebook feed saying they're having a celebration of life for Gary Evans this weekend. He, of course, former Southern Ontario Sprints driver and many years racing against the best in the super mods. And that's this weekend, the celebration of Gary Evans, who we lost not too long ago.
Great guy, Adam, man. We worked for him at Cayuga when he owned it.
Hacker was awesome. He filled the cockpit of a sprint car better than any racer I've ever seen. He was larger than life. Great smile. Great. Like if you heard him laugh once, you'd remember it forever. One of the good guys.
The 1998 Southern Ontario Sprints champion.
Yeah, he had some good runs. So sorting out the lineup right now. I believe they're close to having it right.
But it's interesting because drivers, why are you worrying about 24th spot? Just throw the green. Well, their teams definitely worry about every position.
Yep.
And if Doug and I want to get out of here before the sun comes up every week, we have to do things as properly as possible, and sometimes that means wait a lap or two to get Mr. 23rd place into position 24.
You know what? With one-way radio's electronic scoring, there's no reason not to get it right.
And you hear Doug right now, just told him, directing the cars inside, outside, said double up, going this time. Ready to take them back to green, guys. The HRW Automotive Mini Stock Feature.
Just had a look in the record books. Gary Evans won here once. June 16th, 2000. So he was an Oshweekend Speedway winner. Thoughts of him this weekend as we go back to the green flag with the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. And trouble for Tim DeBoer as he slides it into the infield.
We're seeing a lot of hard feelings out there tonight. I mean, I could be overreacting, but we're seeing minor contact turn into major contact. That usually sorts itself out, Greg.
It may sort itself in the pits later on, too, if it keeps up at this rate. But out in front, it's Schroeder, your leader, and Ryan Hiller has been all sorts of impressive this year in that 21H. Right up there in that second spot. Tim Newell in third. Wade Thorne, Dusty DeBoer, your top five.
Top two have opened up over the battle for third with Newell on the outside, Thorne on the inside. Schroeder just shuts the door on Hiller coming out of turn 4. Doesn't seem to bother Hiller. He'll head to the outside and try to get another run.
Hiller right there in tow down the backstretch. Now Mike Sarantakos goes around, clips Fabio Oliveri, and now damage on the left front of the 16. So Fabio and Mike come to a stop down there, and we're seeing a close-up on the left front of the Kubota number 16, and definite problems there for Fabio Oliveri.
Buchwald in that number 10 has been in the midst of a few situations tonight. Car doesn't seem to be any worse for wear. As Fabio Oliveri waiting for his ride to show up. Back to the pits, Mike Sarantakos with the car pointed directly up the racetrack. Looks like he's going to head to the pits too. Still two more races to come after this one. The Thunder Stocks and the 360 sprint cars as they continue to work at the accident scene down there in turn number 2 with track manager Clinton Jeffrey overseeing the process, and he flips on his microphone.
Well, as you can see here, the 16 Fabio Oliveri with big problems on that left front. The entire left side taken off here, pulled the entire strut tower out. Fabio getting the helmet off here as the safety crew working to get him hitched up properly. But yeah, all kinds of damage here for Fabio, and he will limp it off a little bit, guys. It's a little bit sore on that left foot.
Fabio going to walk that off as he's taking a walk back to the safety truck.
You know, I didn't think the contact was that bad from this. I knew there was some damage on the front, but when you get in there close, and again, great camera work down there by Sean to get us that close up and see how much damage there really was, and to see Fabio limping away, harder contact than we got from this vantage point. So,
well, you know, it was just like I said when Brian Cosgrove got spun around. You don't realize how fast these cars are going until there's something to give you that perspective. But they are traveling at a pretty good clip.
Once again for Fabio, another situation where just wrong place, wrong time, and that's been the story of his career so far. I think in the mini stocks he's shown moments of brilliance, like he could be one of the top competitors, and then something ends up happening around him and he gets caught up in it.
I love that he keeps coming back. I want him to keep coming back, but yeah, you said it. He's just a victim of circumstance. That was not his accident.
Super nice guy, great attitude, and you know he'll be back, and that's what keeps him coming back is that positive attitude that he has. Well, we've talked about Ryan Hiller a lot already this season, and it's only week number 3 in his first season in the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, but look at him, he's right up there and competing for a win, and has been maybe the most consistent driver over the first 3 weeks. We've seen some up and downs from drivers. Case in point, Sean Iftati, who didn't qualify tonight as the point leader, but Ryan Hiller's been right there and solid all 3 weeks.
The speed has been there every night for Ryan Hiller for sure. As they're about to move Oliveri's car up off the racetrack, we should be ready to go back to green flag racing next time by.
Catching a replay of this accident where Serentakos goes around and then boom, right into the front of Fabio Oliveri. Fabio had nowhere to go. It happened so quickly.
That picture reminded me of an old VHS camera or something. Not quite the clarity that we're used to seeing.
Kind of looks like this is a Zapruder film.
All right, we are double file. The field bunched up through 3 and 4, coming back to green.
With Sean Iftati, the point leader, not being in this race, the next closest guy in the points right now is Nick Massey, and he's back there. He's dive bombing right now on Jason Dixon to get up through the field. But you got Nick Massey, Tim DeBoer, Tristan De Silva, and Jonathan Ayrton all there behind Iftati in the points, but none of them right now having fantastic nights by any means.
No, that's for sure. Newell went into turn number 1. That car just about got all 4 wheels off the ground. Thankfully, Tolton in the 13 was up on the outside to keep him in the ballpark, but both of them lost a little bit of ground in that transaction.
Hiller now feeling some pressure from Wade Thorne, who'll slip by and into the second spot. Wade Thorne now right there behind leader Martin Schroeder, put Hiller back to third. Kyle Wirt is back there in fourth. Dusty DeBoer running fifth.
Top 5 sort of strung out nose to tail. A good 3-car battle for the lead, but behind the top 5, 2 wide, 3 wide, everybody looking for racing room, trying to make their way to the front. My goodness, what a bunny hop down into turn 1 for Tolton in that 13 machine.
Now, I said Tristan De Silva is part of that group not having a great night. I should correct myself. He did start 24th, and he is up to 9th right now. There's still 8 laps to go, so Tristan is definitely working his way towards the front. He's battling with one of those guys that are right there in the thick of the points, Nick Massey in the 222.
Now, in the B main, we were watching him navigate the bumps into 1 very well. What he's chose to do here in the feature event, he is avoiding the bumps altogether. Might be a slightly slower line, but it is much smoother as he runs down the inside.
So at the halfway point, this will be a 15-lap affair with Martin Schroeder, Wade Thorne, Ryan Hiller, and Kyle Wirt nose to tail the top 4 down the backstretch.
Guys, keep a look on the 26 of Tim Newell down the back straightaway. He doesn't even have any left rear assembly on the car whatsoever.
Getting it done on 3 wheels is the 26 of Tim Newell as he goes around through corner number 4. Not sure where his sneaker went to, but...
And he gets a black flag as Tolton goes around there in turn 2, sort of stuck in an awkward position. That'll bring out a yellow. He had the car running, and he is moving, but there was nowhere for him to go safely, so Doug Leonard throws the yellow flag, and Tolton will refire at the back. No, he's going to head it into the pits.
Left rear flat for the 13 of Bobby Tolton, and a left rear completely gone. Everything gone for Tim Newell. Now a fire under the hood of Tim Jamison's 188X down in the infield.
Oh, Lordy Jesus, it's a fire.
A barbecue, as you would say.
I like that line.
Safety crew right there. As Tim Jamison will hop out of the 188X. Another good job by the rescue crew. I mean, that wasn't a very visible fire, but it got picked up nonetheless, whether it was here in the tower or someone caught it out of the corner of their eye, and safety crew right there to put that out quickly. 9 complete, 6 to go.
Hey, Greg, you were right. It's a 15-lap feature.
That's 3 times tonight I've been right. If I could only be this way at home.
Let's keep things in perspective, Calner.
I'm not like you. I don't bring my wife to the track. I like to get away and be right once in a while.
We make this a family affair. Although we brought Connor, I don't know where he disappeared to.
This is more of a family as far for me, as far away as I can get from them.
They probably appreciate it.
I'm sure they do.
Martin Schroeder up on the outside, Wade Thorne on the inside in the 46. Green flag in the air from Kyle McKenzie. We're back underway with 6 laps to go.
Wade Thorne jumps to the top spot as they go down into corner number 1 with Martin Schroeder riding the waves up the high side, and he's going to open up the bottom to Ryan Hiller, Nick Massey, and now Kyle Wirt with a good run off of corner 2 in that white and green number 19.
Wirt was running out of real estate there, but the hole opened up just enough for him to make that move as he battles for the 4th position. Bobby Tolton in the 13 gets out just in time to stay on the lead lap, but he is 3/4 of a lap behind.
Good job by the crew there to make the changes, and something flopping around up there in 2 as Martin Schroeder, who had led for a time. Looks like some sort of a screen or grate laying down there in corner number 2. Good job of the camera guys to pick that up.
Kyle Wirt looking to crack the top 3, battling with Nick Massey, and Tolton up into the outside wall off of turn 2.
Great job by the crew to get that tire changed and back out, but now Bobby Tolton into the wall in corner number 2. That will bring up the caution and a chance for the safety crew to grab that screen or grate or whatever it is up there at the high side of corner 2.
Tolton unbuckling himself and climbing from the 13 Amsoil machine.
Awesome looking helmet.
That is a pretty cool lid.
That's a family affair there. The safety crew will get that debris as well and take a look there at Bobby Tolton's Amsoil machine. Rhonda, who's rolling on the river, she's been chiming in all night. She was talking about our wife's story. She says, happy wife, happy life. She must be happy if she's on the Trent River watching a race.
I'd like to announce the races from the Trent River.
I second that. How can we make this happen?
I have visions of you and I in inner tubes floating.
Wow.
They'd have to be big old tires.
Just about to say they'd have to be a Case IH inner tube.
Mm-hmm. Fruity drink with an umbrella in it. Water wings. Little monitor we could announce the races from.
I mean, it could happen. We need Clinton. He actually visibly has to be on camera and in the thick of it. I'm pretty sure right now he's on Monster or another job site trying to fill our positions.
And the cleanup crew rolling away from turn number 2. Tolton's car in tow. Some of the crew will head back to the infield. Looks like they're all going to bring it back to the infield. Oh, wow. That was a vicious hit for Bobby Tolton, as we see from the speed shot. That car went hard right directly into the concrete.
Well, you know what?
What?
It was that screen.
Come on.
It is. Have to think maybe a tire was punctured. Yeah, Greg Boydell actually got it. He was already into a spin when he went over the screen, though, I think.
Yeah,
great camera work by Greg Boydell up there to grab the car going over the screen there. Yeah, the car's already sideways at that point, so.
Oh. All right, green flag and a wave once again. 4 laps remain in this mini stock feature event. Big start by DeBoer in that 9 as he shoots to the inside off of turn number 4. He'll battle for the second spot.
Ooh, Wade Thorne gets shuffled out. Now he has to go to the pit area. The field thinning out here. And the guys that we were talking about in the points that weren't up there, well, they're up there now. Nick Massey has a good chance to catch Sean F. Toddy and take the point lead if he can hold on out front. Tim DeBoer is in the thick of it as well as Jonathan Ayrton, Tristan DeSilva, all in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, DeSilva was actually doing better than that. He has lost a couple of spots. Jonathan Ayrton with a late surge in that 21 machine. And let's see if Kyle Wirt going to work his magic on Nick Massey, the top 2, pulling away from DeBoer and Hiller, battling for third.
Kyle Wirt looking to grab another win. Here he is working on the back bumper of Nick Massey as they sail it down the backstretch. Then you've got another fight as Ryan Hiller looks to the inside of Tim DeBoer for the third position.
Be 1 lap to go this time. The white flag is displayed. Nick Massey with a car length advantage over Kyle Wirt. Everybody in the top 10 now single file as they head into 1.
Massey on top, Wirt on the bottom, fighting for the win. As they go down the backstretch for the final time, Kyle McKenzie will bring out the double checkers.
Kyle Wirt looking to make a big run to the bottom. He couldn't maintain his momentum. Massey to take the win. Wirt second. DeBoer rounds out the top 3. Hiller finishes 4th. Dusty DeBoer rounds out the top 5.
Third week, third different winner in the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. It was Sean F. Toddy week 1. Last week it was that white and green number 19 of Kyle Wirt. And this week, Nick Massey out of Fenwick will come home the winner in the 222 as they head down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. And it looks like Tim DeBoer will join them on the pad. Coming home in third with a little bit of body damage there. Mike Sirantakos giving a big wave to Nick Massey on his victory here tonight. As things get situated down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. See Bobby Tolton's car getting pulled to the pit area. 2 features still to go, and he's on the roof. Nick Massey, the winner, will send it down trackside to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Well, Nick, welcome back to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. It's been a while, but totally new car. Yep. Same result. Still pretty cool to get down here and pick up a win.
Yeah, you know what? This all came together the last few laps. But a guy slipped up a bit. And I just snuck by on the inside. That was the hot lane right around the middle. But, yeah, I want to thank guys at work that covered me for the on-call shifts. My wife, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have came back and built this car. I just want to say I love you, Mom. I lost her last year. And I just want to say thanks to the fans came out. And thank you.
Solid run there for Nick Massey, getting it done, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for our feature winner in the 222? We'll get over here and talk to last week's feature winner. Kyle, still solid night for you whenever you can capture maximum points. There was only one spot that got more tonight. You did a great job to get back here. Talk about your drive.
Coming off of 3 was a bit loose, and a few bumps you got to avoid, so there's a few lines you got to take, and it's hard to get around these front-wheel drives in that position.
Bit of a different track setup for you guys tonight. Ultra slick, a little bit dry. How'd that change your setup?
Just can't take down the PSI, you'll blow a bead, so it's just same setup, drive it differently.
Right on there you have it. Kyle Wirt grabs second. We'll get over here and grab a winner. Quick word with our third place, Tim DeBoer. Tim, what a drive for you. I mean, we saw Brian Cosgrove get in trouble the same way you always will by Doug. Waited for that yellow, then drove away. You could have done the same thing here in the infield when you got spun out, but you did the proper thing, got back in line, the yellows came your way, and here you are in third. Talk about your evening for us.
Well, it was going pretty good. The first couple laps were haywire. And then, yeah, I got turned around there. I just kept her to the floor, kept steering and hoped for a caution, right? It came and got beat around a little bit, but it's a good night.
Do you realize how far your left rear is when you enter turn 3? You're about a foot off the ground. You're tricycling this thing into the turns.
That's the way to do her. Sometimes you can just feel it. All of a sudden, it just dives right on the right front, but I don't need that tire anyway.
Solid drive. How about a hit for our top three tonight? Nick Massey, Kyle Wirt, and Tim DeBoer getting it done here in the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
I used to have to go in to the auto parts store. Pay too much, never find quite what I'm looking for. Now I just go online to Rock Auto and see all the parts my car will ever need. Lower prices, more parts, more brands. It's so easy to find the right parts fast. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto. All the parts your car will ever need. RockAuto.com.
Setups for the 360 Sprint, and I got a message this week. You've got to try the new Pro trucks on iRacing. I got messages from Greg Boydell, our Turn 2 cameraman, from Nick Mazzy, Rick Scott, and then my son Connor saying, oh man, these things are so awesome to drive.
Kyle Wirt, another solid performance after a win last week. Second place tonight, and he'll gain some ground as a lot of drivers will on Sean Iftati tonight, who did not make the A main. So we're back and ready to go with the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Car A main. Starting from the pole from Caister Center in the Kingpin Farms, car number 91, that'll be Ryan Turner. Starting second from Mississauga, Ontario, driving the Ackland Insurance Town Line Variety Ripshot, number 17X, the Highlight Man, Mac Demand. Going from third out of Brantford in the CarQuest Auto Parts, Brown Auto Service number 10, Downtown, Mitch Brown. And rolling off from fourth out of Alden, New York in the Fiberworks Composite, Merzak Enterprises 49, the straight shooter, Scott Kruder. Starting in position number 5 out of Caister Center in the Burger Barn, Ace 1 Construction Mobile 1, car number 13 is Corey Turner. And rolling off sixth out of Dorchester in the Oshwegan Speedway, Rochester Nighthawks Case IH, car number 1, Holly Porter. Going from 7th out of Oshwegan in the Case IH, Renway Energy, car number 68, Aaron Turkey. Aaron Turkey goes from 7th and alongside in 8th, the current point leader, undefeated in 2019 from Scotland in the original Traders Energy. Sovereign Fusion, Burford Heating and Cooling, car number 47X, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Starting in 9th from Fenwick in the Gibbons Contracting, car number 14H, the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen. And starting from 10th out of Beamsville in the Parts Source, J&E Recovery, Julie Swayze Remax, car number 88H, it's Josh Hansen. Going from 11th out of Cheektowaga, New York in the Fiberworks Composite, Merzak Enterprises 94, it's Todd Hoddick. And starting in 12th out of Caledonia, the Burger Barn, Ace 1 Construction 55, Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne. Rolling off from the 13th position out of Waterdown in the Tammy 10 Media, car number 0C, that'll be Cole McDonald. And to his outside from the 14th starting position from Scotland in the Total Rentals, Ackland Insurance, car number 87X, Sean Evans. Going from 15th out of Bedford, Ontario, driving the Coldwell Banker, Tim's Lawn Care, car number 5D, that is Shane Ross. And flanking his outside from the 16th starting spot from Carlisle, Ontario, driving the Nitro 54 Variety, car number 9, that will be Steve Lyons. Starting 17th position tonight in the Edwards Excavating and Construction 43 from Port Colborne, Ontario, that is Scott Shirk. And going from the 8th starting position from Caister Center in the Charlie B. Honey Pie Spring and Alignment 11, that's Jamie Turner. Going 19th in the Hills Tire and Gas, Brown Auto Service, Little Bend 110, Jake Brown, and to his outside going 20th from Grimsby, that'll be car number 90 of Travis Cunningham. Starting 21st from St. Williams in the Gales Auto Aftermarket 21, that is John Burbridge Jr. And his outside starting 22nd from Oshwegan in the Nitro 54 Variety, number 15, Dan Nanacoat. Going from 23rd from Charing Cross, Ontario, the ERW Contracting, number 9B, Scott Burke. And starting in the 24th and final spot from Lewiston, New York, the G&J Contracting, car number 81 of Derek Jonathan. Dylan Westbrook on a tear already to start this year, 2 for 2 in feature races for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. He's just 3 wins away from tying Glenn Stiers for the all-time sprint car win list here at Oshwegan Speedway. 27 wins for Glenn, 24 for Dylan Westbrook. You got to go back to Dustin Daggett, who has 11. He's the next closest between the top 2.
Wonder how many races it took Glenn Stiers to win his.
Definitely not as quick as Dylan Westbrook, that's for sure. Glenn's first win. Looks like it was 2003. So you're looking at over a 10-year period, about a 12-year period for him to rack up the 27 wins. Dylan's been doing this since 2016, middle of the season 2016. So we are ready to go for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising sprint cars behind the Strickland GMC Pace Truck. Ladies and gentlemen, wave these drivers on. They are 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising sprint car A-Main.
Demand.
Making highlights even
on the pace lap.
On the pace lap. White flag displayed to the field, getting ready to go green flag racing. 20 laps, the third feature of 2019 for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising sprint cars. 2x2, 12 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. Ryan Turner, Mac Demand make up the front row. Kyle McKenzie's got the double green flags in hand. The Strickland GM Pace Truck pulls off on the backstretch. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation. They rumble, bumble, stumble down into corner number 1 with Ryan Turner on the hammer, but here comes the highlight man. Mac Demand draws up even and grabs the lead at 3.
Nice move by Mac Demand. Ryan Turner, though, around the outside. Man, that was a battle of wills between a couple of our young guns.
And Mac Demand made it stick now. All sorts of action in the back of the pack, trying to keep an eye on everyone, but at the front, Mac Demand leading the way over Ryan Turner and Mitch Brown.
Mac Demand opening up a few car lengths over Ryan Turner, but Ryan Turner not going to give up by any stretch. They run the low line through 1 and 2. Then down to 3 and 4, much higher on the racetrack for both of our front runners.
3 laps on the scoreboard for Mac Demand over Ryan Turner, Mitch Brown, Dylan Westbrook, and Scott Kruder. Now, they are the top 5. And Adam, we came into tonight thinking, what's it going to take to beat Dylan Westbrook? Well, these track conditions might be what it takes.
You know, it's different every week. That's the fun thing about dirt racing. And Dylan Westbrook is the bar by which we measure sprint car drivers at Ohsweken Speedway these days. So, on a given night, if you can be better than Dylan Westbrook, you've had a pretty darn good night.
But let's not write him off just yet, because remember last week he had 2 oops moments and still won the feature. So Dylan Westbrook making a challenge right now. Mitch Brown looking for 3rd.
And what he's doing right now is trying different entries, different lines, trying to get the attitude of the car the way he needs it to be. As he's doing that, problems for Cole McDonald in the 0. And that will bring out the yellow flag. Now, Greg, why did you not do that introduction last week for TV?
It's more of a live crowd thing.
I don't know. Because I sat back. I sat because that's the white flag lap of the sprint car race. Really, the entire pre-race for the sprint cars is your thing. So I kind of sit back and take it in. I thought, he's not doing it. Why isn't he doing it? I get it. I
could do it if you'd like, but
it's tradition. It's your thing.
There's even a T-shirt now.
Is that right?
Yes.
If I buy one, will you sign it?
Absolutely. Just for you.
You know, we did Doug Leonard's shirts. His, cover the line too wide, too qualify, whatever Doug's statement is, and I can't sell them if my life depended on it. Greg's are flying out the door.
With the garbage.
That's probably because Greg's come with a free box of ice cream bars or something.
I felt that probably wasn't for national television, so I saved it for the home crowd.
Yeah, I feel you.
Here, we paid you all that extra money, figured you're going to deliver your signature line, so we want our money back.
I figure if I have to be someone different in order to be on TV, I don't want to be on TV. This is our show. This is what we do.
Yeah, I just want to say, guys, I had nothing but great compliments about the work you guys did, and the whole team last week was amazing to hear everybody enjoying the broadcast. Just remind everybody the plan is to air it tomorrow at noon. So if you're one of those guys who does not have MAP TV yet, call your local cable provider, or you can log on to our Facebook and live stream tomorrow. The plan is at noon to air it for everybody who has not seen it yet.
And if you have nothing better to do, tomorrow you can watch an Ohsweken Speedway doubleheader. You can go home, watch tonight's race in the morning, and then at noon you can watch last week's race. Endless entertainment.
We can have a watch party at 4 in the morning, because that's what I do every Friday after the races.
I'll tell you part of my fun after we call the rest of this race.
Green flag back out, single file past the restart cone as they hammer down into corner number 1. McDeman looking for his second career 360 sprint car win.
DeMann with a nice restart. Opens up that slight advantage over Ryan Turner. Look at that, Dylan Westbrook to the outside. Here goes Scott Kruder battling down low.
Good fight amongst the top 5 right now. Here comes Kruder to the inside of Brown. Brown bobbles just a little bit, and that allows Dylan Westbrook to hop by. Literally hopped out of corner number 2 into the 3rd spot.
Doesn't take much of an opening for Dylan Westbrook to pounce. He does so. Then Kruder gets around Brown, and then here comes Jim Hoopinen.
Meanwhile, McDeman stretching out his advantage over Ryan Turner. Then you've got that 47X of Dylan Westbrook right there in 3rd. Scott Kruder not going away in 4th. 5th is Mitch Brown. And right behind him, good solid performance from Corey Turner and Jim Hoopinen.
Absolutely true as McDeman powers into turn number 3. He's about half a straightaway from encountering lap traffic. And what a race for second. Ryan Turner has the spot. That is Dylan Westbrook, Scott Kruder, all 3 of those drivers running completely unique lines through 1 and 2. Let's see what they decide in 3 and 4. Westbrook to the inside. He'll slide up in front of Ryan Turner. Turner carves it back down below the 47 to retake the position.
Tell you what, if Ryan Turner could get a better run through corner number 2, he might have something for Dylan Westbrook. That time he is a bit better. But great run through 3 and 4 for the 91 as he'll once again work it down the hill. And he's really strong off of 4 against Dylan.
Ryan Turner getting stronger and stronger week after week behind the wheel of that kingpin number 91.
Jamie Turner taking it off the track to the pit area. Meanwhile, at the front, McDeman working through the lap cars of Scott Burke and Travis Cunningham as Holly Porter goes around in corner number 2. We're back under the yellow flag. 12 on the board, 8 to go.
I don't know if that yellow flag is a bad thing for McDeman or not. I think clear racetrack might actually help McDeman secure this win.
I tend to disagree, Adam. I think Westbrook has gotten right where he wants him now in the sights. And it's going to be a tough one for DeMann to hold on. But when you talk about 2 young drivers with a ton of testicular fortitude, it's those 2 guys out there. And depending on where these lap cars slot in, it's going to be interesting.
They definitely have nerves of steel, but I've been really impressed with Ryan Turner tonight. He, many times when Dylan Westbrook looked like he had the advantage, Ryan had the answer.
Yeah, he's really been fighting back, and as I was mentioning under the green flag run, Ryan not quite as good in 1 and 2, but he's really good getting through 3 and then getting the run off of 4, and he's kept pace all night with Dylan Westbrook. That's got to feel good for Ryan Turner that he's hanging with the guy that seems unbeatable right now.
For sure.
McDeman, very solid performance out here tonight, looking for his second career win with a 360 Sprint Car Division. Got his first win 1 year ago.
Where does Darren find the soundtrack for this?
Well, guys, my prediction here is if Westbrook can get by the Shirkin 81 of 43 of Scott Shirkin, the 81 of Derek Jonathan, he may have a clear shot, but he's got to clear them guys by the time he gets out at 2, or Demand is going to be off and rolling.
June 29th, 2018 was McDeman's first and only 360 Sprint Car win. Of course, he still holds the record for the most crate Sprint Car wins here at Ohsweken Speedway.
One car back onto the racetrack. Tagging the tail end of this field is Jamie Turner in the 11. So McDeman has a couple of cars between himself and second place Dylan Westbrook. He'll lead the field through turn number 4, a slow pace right now, headed for the restart.
Way up top goes McDeman, and he's going to pitch it down the hill off of corner 4. Puts the power to the pedal and single file past the cone, and he pulls away from Scott Shirk and puts a gap between he and Dylan Westbrook. But Westbrook about to clear them all.
Yeah, Westbrook with a good run through 1 and 2, and he gets a good gap built on Scott Kruger and Ryan Turner, who are left to battle for the 3rd spot.
McDeman leads lap number 13, 7 laps left to go, and he's got the hottest driver at Ohsweken Speedway chasing him down. Scott Kruger back there in 3rd, following both of them.
Wow, Jim Hoopinen with a great run through turn number 2. He closes in on that battle for 3rd on back as McDeman leading the way. Let's have a look at their last lap times. McDeman's faster than Dylan Westbrook by about half a second.
Talk about someone having a really good run in corner 2. It's been Jim Hoopin in the last few laps. That time got by Ryan Turner. Didn't do so well this time, but when he gets up in the middle groove, Jim Hoopinen's been really good in that troublesome corner 2.
So Corey Turner running the extreme bottom off of 3 and 4. Hoopinen had to go up to the high side to get around the slower cars. Wow, look at that pack of cars down the front stretch into turn 1.
McDeman will lead the lap, and the difference, 1.594 seconds. McDeman remains quicker than second place Dylan Westbrook, but lap traffic about to come into play here with now. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by.
3 laps left for McDeman, and that Hills Racing Nathan Ackland's Insurance number 17X. Heavy traffic up ahead, but he is holding the pretty wheel right now.
Put Scott Burke between he and D-Dub's Dylan Westbrook. Looking at Travis Cunningham next. He'll split down to the inside line. Here comes Westbrook getting by Burke. 2 laps left to go, says Kyle McKenzie.
McDeman to the inside of Cunningham, then to the outside of Derek Jonathan, up into the rough stuff in 1 and 2. Hang on to it, Matt.
Right in front, Dan Anico got all the way sideways on McDeman, and now D-Dubs is right there. Here they come off of corner 4 to the white flag.
Dylan Westbrook with a sniff of the win. 1 more lap to go.
In corner 1 they go. Mac in the middle. D-Dubs up top. He'll come down the bank and gets the run. Can he stick it down in low? No, he tucks in behind. Now goes below on McDeman. Through 3. Off of corner 4. Can Dubs make it stick? He will. 3 in a row for Dylan Westbrook.
Oh, McDeman is going to dream about this one for a long, long time. How many times have we said the driver in second has the advantage? The driver in second, all they have to do is what the leader doesn't do. The leader is at a disadvantage. You saw it right there. When McDeman watches a replay of this race, he's going to be sick to his stomach. Not because he did anything wrong, Greg, but because he did not do anything wrong.
No, exactly, and you just said it. He had no idea exactly where Dylan was or where Dylan was charging. And the biggest gain that Dylan Westbrook made was the lap prior. Dan Nanicoke got sideways right in front of McDeman, and I don't know if Mac let up just a little bit, wondering where the 15 was going to go. But Dylan Westbrook scoots by on the final lap, makes it 3 in a row, 25 career wins, pulls within 2 of the all-time win list at Ohsweken Speedway with 27 that Glenn's Tires has. So Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky, celebrating another win for D-Dub's Dylan Westbrook. He'll climb up on the car. He had to work for this one tonight. Dylan Westbrook, your winner. Let's go trackside with Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, guys. We'll get Dylan Westbrook around here to the front of the car and get a quick word with him as we celebrate another victory here in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. He gets to have a quick talk with Mac Demand as they work on getting their stuff off. Both these guys teammates this year, and D-Dub, Dylan Westbrook getting it done on the final turn to pull it off here tonight. And come on around, we got one more feature event to go, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan, come on over here. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? He's been picture perfect this season so far. Dylan Westbrook picks up another win on the final turn. Dylan, they're gonna start booing you soon, you know that, right?
Yeah, I don't think you can boo about that show. That was a great race. Going into that lap quarter throughout the whole race, Mac was just a bit faster than us. And once we got up in the lap traffic, really played in our favor and just kind of went for it on the last lap. Wasn't sure it was going to work, but ended up getting it done.
Greg and Adam were talking about how sometimes second place has the advantage. You certainly had that. You could see. Did you ever feel like you were running out of time? Because you were so close to running out of time.
Oh yeah, I was watching the lap board over there, and then I see him give him some white flag. I was like, if I'm gonna do something, gotta try it out right now. So it really worked out. But great, it was a great race, the best one so far this season.
Congrats, Dylan Westbrook picks up the feature win here again tonight. We'll get over here and get a word with Mac Demand. Mac, tough one for you to give up. I'm sure Adam said you're gonna see this one of your nightmares for the next week. You were out front, dominant, but as they say, second place sometimes has the advantage.
Yeah, I should have just got more aggressive coming into lap traffic there. I was kind of just feeling my way by because no one showed me a wheel or anything. Dylan been behind me for 5 laps or so over the last caution, so I thought, he hasn't got me yet. Take your time, get through lap traffic. But coming up to those lap guys, last corner, I didn't want to throw the slider and come out of 4 with no momentum. So I ran my line I've been running all race, and there comes Dylan. So I don't know. We run out of the same shop, so we'll go back and have a beer over it. It's disappointing, but you can't complain with second. I mean, it sucks like that, but in the grand scheme of things, you got to be happy to be on the concrete.
You're having a good start to your season, Matt. Congrats.
Yeah, I just got to thank my girlfriend for letting me be out here tonight. She's I'm supposed to be at a concert. But.
Smart man. Rather come to the races. Gets the thanks in there as well. We'll get over here and have a word with Mr. Hoddick, or recruiter in the Hoddick Racing Machine. Come on over here, Scotty. Sorry, guys. Scott, another solid run for you last week here on the concrete. You said the car has no more. I gotta get better. You're still there, man, but tough track conditions. These guys had a heck of a race. You guys were going at it in the middle of the pack. Still a good night, man, when you can end up here.
Yeah, it's always good to be in the top 3. Obviously, we really want to win. Tonight, it was a little bit more getting the car better than I was, driving it the best I could. Just need to get a little better. I don't know if we went too far or didn't go far enough. Obviously, the track's really slick, but it was fun. It was a good race. We had caught Dylan there for a minute, and then I just couldn't really get any more out of it. So, happy to be here. Got to thank the Hoddicks for putting me in this thing. It's always fun to drive this car. I would have loved to win tonight, but tonight's for our buddy Hawk. He passed away this week, so dedicating this one to him. Hopefully we can get a win for him.
Have a safe drive home, Scott.
Thank you.
How about a hand for our top 3 tonight? Dylan Westbrook picks up win number 3. Mac Demand and Scott Kruder get it done here in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. One more feature event to come, and that will be for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Reach in here and quickly, Dylan, grab me a winner for your 50-50.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
you know, what's so special about Ohsweken Speedway? Races like that, finishes like that. It just unbelievable finish to that race.
Sometimes you don't realize it. You just get spoiled by it and take it for granted. And an excellent finish there in the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Car A-Main, with Dylan Westbrook picking up his third feature win of the season. He's perfect so far in 2019. One feature to go. Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks lined up. You see them over there in corner number 4. And the starting lineup will look like this going from the pole out of Brantford. The ShedInAday.com number 13, Casey Huffman to his outside in the Nitro 54 variety. Number 24, that'll be Blake Bomberry Jr. Going from position number 3 out of Simcoe, car number 4 is Aaron Rowitsky. And alongside him in the Window Works 14, Johnny Lowenberg. Starting in 5th from Brantford, the Affordable Towing and Recovery number 40, Derek Liverance. And in the Classic Party Rentals, Strickland's GMC car number 1, Chris Dickie will go 6th. 7th from down in Chatham, Jeff Roloff's in car number 6R. And alongside him in the 8th starting spot from Thorold, it's Go Fast Teeple. Starting position number 9 from Victoria, Ontario, the 84 RK, the APC ride, that's Ryan Beagle. And starting in 10th from Caister Center, the DNS Automotive 28D, Donnie Lampman. Starting 11th from Canfield in car number 32, that's Mark Fawcett. And rolling off from 12th out of Hamilton, car number 25, the Club 54 Racing Machine of Ken Sargent. Starting 13th in the DNS Automotive 28 from Caister Center is Jim Lampman. And from the 14th starting position, the 37 of Harley, Ontario's Robert Hoskins. Going 15th out of Guelph in car number 79, the Draper's Door Machine, that is Christopher Hale. And his outside, the Advantage Electric number 53 from Jerseyville, Logan Schwetting. 17th starting position from Hagersville, the Caledonia Auto Supply 23 of Trevor DeBoer. And from the 18th starting spot, the Gibbs Action Sports, Queenston Chevrolet 49, Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey from Hagersville. Starting 19th, Kyle Andrus in the 43 from Hamilton, and to his outside, that beautiful Firebird, the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction number 21X of Mark Bazine. Starting 21st from Caister Center, the Plastics Auto Recycler 41 of Adam Plazik. Starting 22nd, the Club 54, number 8 out of Hagersville's Ryan Dinning. 23rd from Ohsweken will be the 38 of Frank Turkey. Melissa Miller from Hagersville goes 24th in the 93, and Matt Newell in car number 2 will start from the 25th and final spot. Kyle McKenzie waves the double green flags, and Casey Huffman will lead us down into 1.
Well, if you've ever wondered what is a handicap system is the reason Dave Bailey starts in the 18th position, and I love it.
They work, what a gaggle of cars through 3 and 4. Casey Huffman leads, but here comes Blake Bomberry Jr. Rides the wave of the outside line, takes the lead as behind them 4 wide into corner 1.
Side by side for the lead down the back straightaway. Blake Bomberry takes over the top spot on the high side. Oh, Liverance, Derek Liverance up into the wall out of turn number 2. Everybody takes evasive action, manages to miss him, and carries on.
The action hot and heavy back in the pack where the point leader is Dave Bailey, as he's mired in behind Jeff Roloffs and Donnie Lampman trying to work his way through. Lots of bumping and grinding going up in corner number 2.
Ryan Beagle working his way up into the 2nd position, running the bottom line. It is slick down there, but he's smooth on the throttle, making some good progress. Now he's going to try to close in on Blake Bomberry for the lead. As look at Johnny Lowenberg head to the inside. He'll try to take over 3rd, loses a bit of momentum down the backstretch.
Door to door with Chris Dickie in that black and orange number 1. Lowenberg in that white 14, digging hard on the bottom. Here he works to the inside of Casey Huffman. Right behind 3rd place, Ken Sargent.
So Dave Bailey and Trevor DeBoer started right together in this one. Bailey's up to about 10th. DeBoer is back in about 20th.
1 and 2 in the point standings coming into tonight, 9 points apart. Dave Bailey still mired heavy in the pack as he's right behind. Now working to the outside of Chris Dickie and runs up on Aaron Rowitsky, and Casey Huffman goes around in front.
right in front of Rob Hoskins. There was nowhere for the 37 to go. It doesn't look like there's much damage. Oh, Casey, don't do that. Oh, my goodness.
And Rob Hoskins still to a stop to the exit of corner number 2, and that will bring the caution flag out.
You know, we want drivers to get going once again. You just don't want to see someone drive right up through the racing groove at about 10 miles an hour when they're charging off the corner like that, Greg.
Well, guys, I had my eyes on that one. Casey Huffman lost it in front of the field. Hoskins with nowhere to go, and now he finds himself needing a hook on the bottom of turn number 2. Tough break for him, and this one was running inside the top 10.
Yeah, he's had a lot of speed in that 37 machine. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I was kind of wondering why they were backing up with a hook. I didn't think he made hard enough contact with anything to have broken much. He squared up the Huffman 13 pretty good.
Do you remember when we talked about veteran gamesmanship?
I was thinking that the whole time.
Hoskins knows that if he just drove away when Doug threw the yellow, he'd be in trouble. So he waits till he gets all the attention he could possibly ask for, and now he's all right.
Well,
which is going to get him through the game.
Absolutely. And we look at the replay. Casey Huffman loses it on his own. As we look at Hoskins, yeah, the contact, I mean, that's why you have such a rugged front bumper on a dirt car.
You mentioned Johnny Lowenberg. Haven't talked much about him so far this year. A guy who's been coming over from the pavement, trying out the dirt. Hasn't had much mechanical luck. I mean, he's gone through a transmission or two, I think. And that's a 302 Ford there, if I'm not mistaken. So he's actually running a Ford motor and a Ford Mustang.
Is that right?
Which is rare because pretty much every sprint car, most of the Thunder stocks are all running Chevrolet powered engines.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that Johnny Lowenberg would want to do things a little bit differently. Got to respect people that want to do that, do things their own way.
Well, you see our new Pinty's activation room down there. Adam will be selling chicken and potatoes out of there next week, and the new frontage on it was built by John Lowenberg in that Window Works machine with his business Window Works. So Johnny did a great job putting in the new garage door, and the frontage on that building will open it up next week as a fan seating area for fans to enjoy some Pinty's chicken and get in the shade a little bit.
Very cool.
I just noticed Mark Bazine is in a different car here in the feature. He had the Firebird earlier on tonight. Now he's behind the wheel of the Camaro.
Yeah, that was a big topic of discussion earlier. Can you run a backup car? Well, because we didn't need to be main tonight, it was a rare instance where he could actually pull out a backup car because there was no B main still needed. We had an open spot, so he was able to pull up the backup car. But that new car that was built by Jimmy Lowenberg, Johnny's brother, having some drivetrain issues, so we'll have to sort that one out. Design and a rare opportunity to pull out the backup car. Here we go, back to it, guys. It's all yours.
And it's Blake Bomberry getting the advantage on the drop of the green flag with Ryan Beagle fighting on the bottom. Now Beagle in that middle lane trying to get the advantage off of corner 2, and he will get it as Bomberry got a little sideways in 2.
A little bit sideways just spoils your momentum, and Ryan Beagle feeds off momentum. He is great at keeping the pedal down as far as you can without breaking traction. He'll lead the way across the stripe.
Dave Bailey inching his way closer and closer to getting into the top 5. He's there for the moment. Aaron Rowitzki is on his outside in the 6th spot. So Dave Bailey, the point leader, has found his way towards the top. Trevor DeBoer having a little bit more of a difficult time finding his way there.
I'll tell you, a driver who is working through the field fairly well is that number 8 Club 54 machine of Ryan Dinning. Started outside of the top 20, working his way into the top 10.
Yeah, he had problems in the qualifying heats. Really not sure what was wrong, and you discussed some ideas of what it could be, but whatever it is, they definitely got it fixed for that Club 54 Racing number 8.
He's looking to thread the needle right now between Donnie Lampman and Christopher Hale. I think the idea was good. The execution didn't quite work. He's going to try it again off of turn 2.
Good racing right there going on right now with Christopher Hale in that 79 machine. Donnie Lampman, the 28D, As Ryan Denning trying to work the outside line, he gets pinched off there. And there's Trevor DeBoer right behind him, that blue and gold 23. Second place on the points. He won 1 week ago.
Halfway through this Thunderstock feature event, 10 laps down, 10 laps to go. Here comes Dave Bailey trying to get into the top 3.
Ryan Beagle through corner number 4 and on to the front stretch to complete lap number 11. Blake Bomberry Jr. there in second. Dave Bailey now third. Ken Sargent fourth. And Jim Lampman in the 5th spot. Johnny Lowenberg running a really good race, as Clint mentioned, having some luck on his side here tonight in 6th. And how about Aaron Rowitsky, too, in 7th? Big shout out to him. He is really running a nice race up there in that 4 machine, having some luck go on his side as well.
Sooner or later, it was bound to happen. He's got some speed. He just didn't quite have the fortune the first 2 nights of the season.
Ryan Beagle leading through corner number 4 again, and he's been so smooth all night. You talked about it in the qualifying heats, Adam, how good Ryan Beagle was finding where to avoid the problems on the track, and he's just doing it again here in the feature.
Very methodical race car driver. He finds what he wants to do, figures it out, maximizes the line that he's running in. He's out in front by about 10 car lengths over Blake Bomberry in that purple 24. A good job for Blake Bomberry holding off Dave Bailey and Jim Lampman.
Ryan Beagle with 2 career feature wins in the Thunderstock division. As it looks like, I believe that's Kyle Andrus going to the pit area. Not able to continue. Good battle on right now for the 2nd spot. The big high five from Kyle McKenzie. 5 more circuits around. Out in front is Ryan Beagle, but as I said, a good battle for 2nd. It's Blake Bomberry Jr. holding it down on the 24. Then you've got Dave Bailey and Jim Lampman right there side by side.
Blake Bomberry, I'm trying to remember the last time he finished on the podium. I'm certain it wasn't this year, was it, Greg?
No, I don't believe so.
I'm terrible for stats like that, but Blake Bomberry used to be a factor week in and week out in the Thunderstock division. Beautiful race car, that purple 24. When he brought that out, man, oh man, turned a lot of heads.
Beagle, this time by 3 laps left to go. Quite a gap between he and the next pack of lapped cars. Mark Bazine and Casey Huffman would be those cars. The challenge for 2nd continues on. Bomberry and Bailey. Bailey looking high, and now here comes Jim Lampman reeling those 2 back in. 2 laps left to go for Ryan Beagle.
This is another case similar to Mac DeMann in the sprint car race. Blake Bomberry hasn't seen the nose of anybody. He's just been running his race. He hasn't had anything for Ryan Beagle. Dave Bailey's had 10 laps to practice exactly the marks Blake Bomberry's been hitting lap after lap.
White flag coming out for Victoria, Ontario's Ryan Beagle. 1 more trip around to cash in on his 3rd career feature win.
One last time down the back straightaway. The battle is on for 2nd. Jim Lampman has made the pass on Dave Bailey. Ryan Beagle 1 more time through 3 and 4 to collect the victory, but who's going to take 2nd?
Across the stripe, feature win number 3 for Ryan Beagle. Blake Bomberry comes home in 2nd. Jim Lampman gets 3rd. 4th will go to Dave Bailey, and Aaron Rowitsky with a really solid top 5 outing as he crosses the stripe in car number 4.
There was a lot of feel-good stories tonight.
We saw that throughout the features tonight, seeing some different faces in new places. And we're going to see this guy, Ryan Beagle, in just a moment in the APC number 84 RK go down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. 3rd career feature win. He got his first win in 2017 in the Brock Leonard Memorial 50-lap feature event. That's a big first win for you. And then last year he picked up a win in August. And now we'll go to Victory Lane for the 3rd time in his career.
And I dare say we have never sent 3 bigger race car drivers to our victory podium than Ryan Beagle, Blake Bomberry, and Jim Lampman, Greg.
Lone Wolf Fireworks light up the sky. Don't forget they're in Middleport, the official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway. Lone Wolf Fireworks. Check them out online on Facebook for your fireworks needs. Ryan Beagle about to hop out of the car here. We'll send it down in a moment to Clinton Jeffrey down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane as they get things set up. Don't forget to be back next Friday night, 7:30 start time. Wall of Fame night, plus it's the Kids Race Canadian National Autism Foundation night. So make sure you join us Friday night, 7:30, $14 for adults. Make sure you are here to be part of the Wall of Fame ceremony as we are ready to go down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane with Clinton Jeffrey.
Ryan Beagle drops the safety net. Here he comes out of the RK Automotive number 84, and Jim Lampman's going to help drag him out of the window. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Ryan Beagle gets it done here tonight in the middle of Port Mechanical Thunderstocks. Ryan, good run for you tonight. I mean, you're almost going to be the pick every night the track looks dry and slick like this. Adam said it best, you're just a master at not breaking traction.
Yeah, I don't know why I like this stuff so much, but I enjoy it, and that's about all I can say about it.
Talk about the track. It was very slick in spots, still rough in spots. Something for you have to conquer tonight?
Yeah, I found that if I missed the holes, it was a lot smoother, and I didn't break traction as much, and so we're here, so.
Congrats, Ryan Beagle picks up the win here. We'll get over here and grab word with Blake Bomberry. Blake, been a while since you've been here, but I want to talk about what you do, man. You do a great job here in the community teaching these kids some great trades. And as someone who's mechanical myself, I think it's super cool that you take the time and show these kids how to weld and fabricate. And you're running well here tonight. Your students are going to be pleased.
Oh, yeah. One of my top students, a couple of them right there. Yeah. It's been a long time coming. We just had a rough time last year, bad luck, and we worked hard to get it to try and go on slick. It was a little bouncy, man. My back's going to be sore tomorrow.
But you'll be smiling.
Oh, yeah. It's good to be up here.
We have it, Blake Bomberry Jr. grab second. We'll jump over here and get a word with Jim Lampman. Jim, solid run for you tonight. I mean, last week I thought you were going to get it done on TV. You were part of that deal, got caught up in the jingle. Smiling here tonight. This is a good recovery after what could have been something super cool for you last week that got away.
We're still figuring this new car out. We're getting close. We had a good run 2 weeks ago. I think we were fourth there at the end. Last week we were heading for probably a third and got in that mess. Car felt good tonight, and I'll tell you what, to be able to drive underneath Davey on this kind of track, I'll take that. We're still fine-tuning a little bit. Like to thank SP Motorsports, John's Auto Supply, my buddy Brian, thanks Wes, and Karen, Robbie, and the crew in the pits. And track's starting to come in. Hopefully another couple weeks we can get this moisture up out of it and get her smoothed down. So other than that, thanks for coming out, folks. Hope you had a great night.
Good job, Jim Lamp. How about it for our top three down here? Ryan Beagle, Blake Bomberry Jr., Jim Lamp may get it done here in the Port Mechanical. Back to you guys to turn us home. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. We'll see you next Friday.
Well, Adam, we saw some interesting track conditions tonight, but you know what? Some fantastic racing came out of it. Some different faces in Victory Lane, and all in all, a fantastic night here at the Big O.
I totally agree, and really, really good interviews. I mean, our drivers do a great job just being themselves and presenting themselves and telling their stories. Like Blake Bomberry, awesome to see him on the front stretch down there on the podium. I just enjoy this so much, Greg. It's just such good racing. It's been a blast.
Well, it's that authenticity that we'd like to see, and there's been oftentimes tonight down in Victory Lane. I turned to look to see your reaction to how they're reacting in Victory Lane because it was raw emotion down there tonight, and just some great storylines came out of tonight's racing action. I want to thank Rochester Nighthawks for bringing us tonight's racing action. Don't forget Cormark presenting us next Friday night. You can join us here in person, 7:30 is start time, $14 for adult tickets, and of course we will be live on Facebook and YouTube throughout the night, so make sure you join us for Cormark night. It is the Canadian National Autism Foundation night. They call it the Kids Race Program, and it is also the Wall of Fame ceremony night as well. So make sure you tune in or join us in person next Friday at 7:30 here at the Big O. So that will wrap things up. I want to thank everyone that joined us live and in person here tonight. We really appreciate you joining us and your patronage, and we thank everyone tuned in online from around the world. We saw a bit of everything here tonight, and that's pretty cool, Adam, isn't it?
I loved it. I loved it. It was great racing. Jim Lampman said it the best. He's, the track isn't quite where we want it to be, but there's reasons for it. We're getting the moisture out of it. We're on the right track. Mother Nature was not kind this spring to dirt track promoters. So the fact that we're getting racing this good, we're not destroying race cars. Dave McKnight had a hard hit tonight. Other than that, did we have anything vicious?
Bobby Tolton took a pretty good look up there in corner number 2, but other than that, it went well. So again, great night of racing. I want to thank everyone who joined us, and on behalf of the Stiers family and my co-announcers tonight, Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey, my name is Greg Kelman saying so long. We'll see you right back here at Ohsweken Speedway next Friday night.